Alright, I've had enough. Seriously, I've had enough. There's a bunch of people who came in here today and all they're doing is talking shit and they're trying to be dicks. Oh, the community's dead. Phil, the community's dead. You're all gonna get banned. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if we drop 20 viewers. I don't give a fuck. 20 idiots come in here. There's people enjoying the stream, having fun. And you have 20 people. Hey, there's no one on the stream. No one's talking. The community's dead. Shut the fuck up. You're the only one who's being negative. Seriously. I'm gonna take all these idiots who are in here and just boot them.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and welcome to Social Media Lunacy. This is a new direction for my channel, but let's talk about what Social Media Lunacy is gonna be. Basically, it's like Sonic Insanity, but instead of just focusing on Sonic people, I'm going to cover other lolcows. And what lolcow to start with? Darkside Phil. Darkside Phil is someone who has been recommended to be talked about for a long time, despite not really being associated with Sonic. But now since I've ditched the whole Sonic shtick and I'm gonna do other stuff, might as well just go for Darkside Phil, because who else could be first? So we're gonna look at this Kiwi Farms article. I'm going to be reading the Who is Darkside Phil part today, and I will be continuing until we run out of stuff to talk about with Darkside Phil. So let's take a look at who Phil is. Darkside Phil, DSP, the King of Hate, which King of Hate is a very generic name and a try-hard name. Philip Burnell is a former fighting game player who began Let's Playing in 2010, which is actually really early for that genre, before it boomed. After he had gotten fired from his day job working at a helicopter company. What? That's an impressive job. I wouldn't expect someone like DSP to have that type of job. And he just decided to stop doing that. Like, don't get hired by anyone else. YouTube is the way. DSP decided to turn this hobby into a full-time job. Although his gameplay is horrible, there's more to Let's Playing than just gameplay, and even in all of those other areas he fails spectacularly. Editing, public relations, commentary, you name it. So Phil sucks at everything apparently. What a shock. What truly makes him a lolcow, however, are his ego and delusion. Wow, that sounds familiar. He truly believes that he is the inventor of Let's Playing. No, that's not true. Let's Playing was done on internet forums before it even moved to YouTube. So no, that's not the truth. And hell, Chris Chan would have more likely of a chance of claiming to be the first Let's Player than fucking DSP. And is above constructive criticism. Sounds familiar. Phil actually believes that his video game playthroughs are works of art. I know a lot of people online have that thought now, but Phil was probably one of the first ones to be that egotistical. Offering any sort of constructive criticism whatsoever will cause Phil to accuse you of being a hater and a troll, a detractor as he calls it. I love that he has his own terminology. I'm really going to get into Darkside Phil if he has more little words like that. And block you. Try to offer constructive criticism on his own forums. He will immediately lock the thread. As far as Phil is concerned, his word is the only correct one, and everyone else is wrong. What a shock. Phil always makes promises to change. Hashtag DS positive. I don't like that fucking hashtag. That sounds like he has AIDS. But attempts to deliver on those promises are always undone by his refusal to change. Phil expects PewDiePie level views for absolutely no effort whatsoever. That's a lot of these lolcow streamers, to be honest. He has called out numerous reviewers and critics for chastising mediocre games that he himself likes, such as Duke Nukem Forever. Okay, well, that's unforgivable. I can forgive you doing anything else, Phil, but I cannot forgive you for liking Duke Nukem Forever. I got that game when it was new, and I got it in a bargain bin for like $5, and I played through the full campaign, and I was severely disappointed. I played that game before I knew it sucked, and I still thought it sucked. So I'm not part of the hype train. I literally hated that game, and I didn't play any other Duke Nukem game before that, so I had zero expectations. It's a bad game, but you're allowed to like bad games. Resident Evil 6 and Murdered. I never heard of that. Sole Suspect. Phil calls himself the king of hate because he used the hate he gets to fuel himself. That's not good. That's gonna lead into some self-destructive territory. In truth, Phil has a thin skin and cannot realize that his own personality is why he receives the hate he does. Subsection, Phil's ego stemming from fighting games. Okay, let's see what this is. Phil himself is completely unable to accept reality when the times change. Phil refuses to adapt. In rare instances, he does try to improve. It's in the wrong areas. Phil truly believes that the detractors are jealous of his success. Oh yeah, he's very successful. When in reality, no sane person would ever want the lifestyle Phil currently has. This was a man who would for years try to justify pointing a camera directly at his TV, and would diss anyone else for being someone who wears headphones and records their game on a computer monitor. Wow, not only does he have a shitty setup, he shits on people who has good setups? Like, that's fucking dumb. It's like, oh yeah, how dare you? How dare you care about how your gameplay looks? Despite all the consequences that come from his actions, he truly believes none of it is his fault. To Phil, it's not his fault that people don't like that when he chooses to include his girlfriend in his videos. Wow, I can relate with that one. People hate it. I mean, I wouldn't say people hate it, but I get a lot of bitching comments. It's the viewer's fault for not tolerating her. It's not his fault that his personality and attitude has caused thousands of videos criticizing Phil to appear over the years. Everyone else is just mentally ill. It's not his fault that he's been banned for excessive racism from Blip.tv, which, RIP Blip. It's his detractors' fault for being jealous and reporting him. Those are just examples of how Phil is completely incapable of accepting fault. Going in hand with his delusions, Phil's irresponsibilities with money, he honestly believes that putting himself $1.5 million in debt to move across the country with his girlfriend to Washington and buying 2 new BMWs, that's a lot of spending, was a good idea. Once he moves to Washington, Phil claimed he will be able to have as much needed back surgery. So he has back problems, probably because he's been gaming for so long. He's probably just been sitting in that chair non-stop. He'd have a much better attitude. I doubt that. Meet fans at conventions, you could do that now, and put more effort into his videos. Nothing stops you from putting effort into your videos. I've seen handicapped people on YouTube make better videos than Darkside Phil. Everything would change, and its fans will watch him again, and it will be happily ever after the dimensional merge. That would soon prove to be a part of his delusional fantasies. When he was unable to run Battlefield Hardline, his solution was to throw down $3,000 on a pre-built that could have been assembled himself with the exact same parts for $1,000 less. In reality, his motivation was to hide his faults. Okay, so I actually bought a pre-built too. But I got mine on sale, and it uses a lot of old parts, and I barely paid anything for it. I only paid $700 for my computer, and it does what I need to. But you shouldn't just throw down a ton of money unless you really know stuff about computers. I asked a lot of people before I bought my computer, and I'm still gonna have to upgrade it. So, yeah, really look into what you're buying before you just throw down a ton of money on a pre-built computer. In reality, his motivation was to hide his faults as a Let's Player by streaming in ultra high quality. That isn't really going to change anything. It could be the best looking gameplay ever, but if it's still shit, it's still shit. Once it was apparent that his PC could not handle streaming even the last generation games on max settings at, well, you could just drop the fucking, like, quality in the game. Like, I recorded some footage for my other channel, and the gameplay that I got was from Marvel's Avengers. And stay tuned for that, because I'm going to be uploading on that channel again soon. And I had to drop the quality to low settings, but it still looks good. It's good gameplay. It doesn't matter if you have ultra high settings, as long as the gameplay is consistent and it doesn't fucking stutter. At 1080p and 60 FPS, he abandoned the idea and left his PC running 24 hours a day, frying his graphics card and internals of his desktop tower to never play PC games again, instead of doing the sensible thing with his Let's Player money, such as buying a good PC with decent specs and trying to run at 720p and 60 frames per second money, or even simply saving for retirement. Phil decided to waste it all. And after that is ... hoarding. So I'm assuming Phil's a hoarder. So Phil has quite a bit in common with Chris, I see. He's delusional, he's full of himself, he blames all of his haters for his problems. The only thing is, I think Phil has made a lot more money than Christian, because Christian definitely couldn't fucking buy a BMW or a house. So, that was our introduction to Darkside Phil. Hopefully you guys learned something today. I'm going to be covering more Darkside Phil soon, and plenty of other lolcows as we continue going on. I know a lot of you guys came here for Christian, but I'm hoping you guys will stay here when I cover other lolcows, because I really feel like the Christian story is at its end, and I don't plan on just giving up. I'm going to take the advice people gave me, and I'm going to cover other lolcows. There are plenty of people as interesting as Chris, as you can see with Darkside Phil, so hopefully you guys will continue watching the channel and be into the other lolcows I talk about.
You got some idiot named DSP who's a total piece of shit, by the way. I like to get that on YouTube, but this guy thought he was hot shit because he beat me and Choi in a game that was like, it's like fucking Neo Geo conversion of Street Fighter or some crap, dude. And he was so proud that he put under his signature, he's the #1 US ranked Super Turbo player that year. But I mean, look at him now.
Do you grab these rations? I don't know how do I eat the rations? This is just weapon changes. I'll show you. I don't know how to use my rations. I have no idea. What? Come on, I don't want to throw them. This is bullshit. What? Oh, come on, you know what? This is fucking mad. No, I can tell the whole game's gonna be like this, too. Who alerted? No one alerted shit, whatever. I'm dead. So dumb. Oh, because I threw them by accident, because the controls are fucking weird. I knew this, too. I already knew this about this game. I already knew the controls were really weird, and like, if you get the wrong shit, can happen. Son of a bitch. Well, I'll try it again. Didn't want to throw him. I wanted to break his fucking neck.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are continuing to talk about Darkside Phil. Today we are going to be talking about Phil's YouTube career and how it went wrong. So let's continue reading up on this man. Phil's YouTube channel is where all of his Let's Plays are uploaded. Rather than doing traditionally 30-minute episode once per day approach, Phil instead chooses quantity over quality and uploads more than 30 videos per day. Why? That's gonna mean that so many videos are gonna be neglected. So many videos aren't gonna be watched. And that's gonna make YouTube think that your channel is dead because you have a bunch of videos that aren't being watched. So then you're not gonna be recommended as much. That's not a good idea. All 10 minutes each. If it's a fighting game, the videos will be 3 to 5 minutes long. Who the fuck would watch just a 3 to 5 minute long video with just one fucking session of a game? Who would want to watch it? Oh yeah, I lose one round and blame it on lag. Watch me lose to this fucking kid. Who would watch that? Depending on if the match goes to a third round or not. And if it does, then Phil got lucky that time. And this is because Phil uploads individual matches as their own videos, a terrible idea. As one would guess, there is no editing whatsoever. This is why I don't really use my Let's Play channel, because I don't like uploading unedited content. And it makes me very sad to put anything on that channel, and I usually end up nuking that channel after a while. So when I find a comfortable way that I can edit Let's Play streams, then maybe I'll start archiving them again, but I don't like that content and I feel like it's not worth watching. So when Phil dies or has to backtrack somewhere, the viewer has to suffer through every detail, no matter how irrelevant. So if he loses at a game like 10 times, he won't just cut to the part where he succeeded. You have to watch every failure. That's terrible. The playthroughs are almost all blind as well. When I play a game on stream, it's usually after I've beaten it, maybe once or twice, because I don't want to look like a complete idiot to everybody. Because in order to make money, he has to be the first one to upload a playthrough of a new release, which I'm sure people come to Phil to watch games as they're released. I'm sure Phil is the fucking one people go to. Phil's procedure worked brilliantly when he first started, but for the wrong reasons. The reason Phil had gotten so popular is because he would upload so many videos per day that and I guess they fucking misspelled YouTube, the YouTube search system would show only DSP videos whenever someone searched for gameplay footage of the game. Oh, that's really clever, but I don't think he was intending that. I don't think Phil intended that to happen. This is how someone like him achieved a 6-digit subscriber count. Despite having over 160,000 subscribers at the time of this writing, Phil only averages 1,000 views per video. At that point, I delete my channel and delete myself. His view count used to be much higher, but it has declined ever since Phil's been exposed. Since Phil makes his money off of his view count, the less views he gets, the less money he makes. And I'm sure it's terrible for him. Before the existence of This Is How You Don't Play and the detractor content, Phil's biggest enemy was copyright, like every YouTuber back then. Anyone could flag a video for copyright infringement, stating that the user is illegally using their content. If you had 3 copyright claims against you, your channel was shut down. No questions asked, which it still is now, very sad. Some games would be monitored, so the game could flag right away by the copyright holder. Phil's solution? Either make a parody title that search engines wouldn't find, such as Dicks with Guns for LA Noire, make an entirely new channel for that game, which is a terrible idea. That's the Channel Awesome and Cinemassacre approach. So that the new channel gets shut down instead of his or both, which means that he's actually ban evading. The redid DSP was eventually hacked by a soccer match live streamers. That sounds wacky as fuck. And later terminated. It had gotten to the point where Phil had resorted to using blip.tv, which a lot of people did, and RIP Blip, for his playthroughs, which worked at first until he got banned for excessive racism. And we're gonna watch that video later. We're gonna watch that video in full. Like, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. People are gonna get mad because we're gonna watch that video and make fun of Phil, but we're gonna watch it. When Splinter Cell Conviction released, Phil did his usual day 1 release gameplay upload, but his videos were flagged by Ubisoft, or Ubisoft. I think it's Ubisoft. I could be wrong. I've heard people say it multiple different ways. I know I'm going to be wrong either way, so fuck it. Forcing Phil's channel to shut down. After he and his fans complained about it, Ubisoft released a statement on their forums stating that they had nothing to do with it. This ended up being true. YouTube tracked down the copyright claim to reveal the source of the claims being a troll using the alias Steve Jones, a very secretive alias. This was the final straw for Phil. He went to make 2 new channels, his current one and another dedicated to video vlogs. Video logs or just vlogs. Before his vlog channel existed, Phil's original channel also contained plenty of non-gaming content. The most notable series he does is DSP Tries It, which I need to marathon those. Those are actually hilarious. DSP Tries It is a series in which he reviews various fast food and other unhealthy stuff. I seen one where he was in the shower. like reviewing acts, and it was amazing. Like variations of Mountain Dew and energy drinks, because the camera is often so close to him while he eats. It's perfect series for if you want to hear a 32-year-old man chew loudly like a cow. Some people are into that now. This series has become a cash grab for Phil, as it allows him to get paid eating pizza and fried chicken while drinking Mountain Dew. The beginning of Phil's downfall. In 2012, Darkside Phil's views were in a downward spiral. And yes, you can play the meme right there if you want to. Things took a turn for the worse when a former fan of his, Evil 2010, that name isn't suspicious, was blocked on Phil's channel for suggesting that Phil's obnoxious girlfriend, Panda Lee, was the cause of this. Later that year, the person writing this cannot make fun of Phil because that is terrible. Later year, this fan's ire was again provoked when Phil claimed that his fans had given him positive feedback on his Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough. In response, Evil AJ 2010, creating This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. His motivation was to show Phil the comments left by his fans during his playthrough. After the creation of his Metal Gear Solid 3 playthrough, Phil attempted to cash in on This Is How You Don't Play by doing the playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1. The entire playthrough was riddled with jokes about Kojima, World Order, and singing the theme of the professional wrestling team NWO, which is dated by default. This marked the beginning of the Kojima World Order, a group of people dedicated to exposing Phil as a terrible human being. And yes, this is very similar to the Private Villa of Corrupted Citizens. They are both inspired by Metal Gear. They both act like Metal Gear, like organizations. They both do trolling ops in similar ways. They are very similar. I would actually say that it's a debate on who's worse, either the Kojima World Order or the Private Villa of Corrupted Citizens. You guys can decide down in the comments section who was the more cringy of the two. Being he is, and offering constructive criticism on how to improve, while also explaining why no one likes Phil, considering Phil's ego. The latter is a lost cause. This Is How You Don't Play series shows off what a typical Phil playthrough is like. Terrible gameplay, horrific commentary, racism, sexism, obnoxious burping, which some people are into, blaming the game for his failures, blaming the developers for his failures. If the game isn't ended prematurely with a rage quit, this behavior will be topped off with a bald-faced hypocritical praise. At the end of the playthrough, if it is a new release, he will do a review video called The Hateful Truth, where he gives you maximum bullshit and minimum truth by trying to look at it from the perspective of a common gamer, which Phil clearly is not. Yeah, if you play video games non-stop and do it as a career, you're not the casual audience. Especially if you've gone to tournaments. You're definitely not casual, even if you lost at those tournaments. Sometimes a game will be deducted points because he sucked at it. Despite this, Phil's scores will always be either 1 or 2 points off, or the exact same score as the mainstream reviewers. So Phil lacks originality. What a shock. And that's all of Phil I'm going to cover today. We went over his YouTube channel and how his YouTube channel started to decline. We talked about his first trolling group and how they would mess with him. We talked about how This Is How You Don't Play happened and the effect that it had on him. And as we continue in our next video, we are going to be looking at situations involving his girlfriend. She was kind of foreshadowed in this stream, so I'm hyped to talk about her next time.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of DSP Tries It, the first one that I've done in quite some time. It's going to be a quick one, because what we're doing today is a very small piece of food. It's called the Burger King French Fry Burger. They just added it to the menu. I get the feeling it's something just for like the end of summer. It's only $1. So let me show you what it comes with. It's a basic hamburger, no cheese, with lettuce, ketchup, mayo, and French fries. That's it. There's nothing else to even show you. No lettuce, no tomato, no pickles, nothing. Just ketchup, mayo, French fries. So I'm going to take a bite. I'm going to let you know how it is, and then I'm going to be honest about something with full disclosure, okay? Well, to be quite honest, I cannot even taste the french fries. All I taste is the mayo and the ketchup. I'm gonna take another bite. Yes. So, the bottom line is, it's like getting a cheeseburger with lettuce, ketchup, and mayo. You can't even taste the french fries. Do you want to know why? And here's full disclosure. Because a few years back, Burger King changed their french fry recipe to be more healthy. They use healthier oil, and they barely put any salt on their fries. Therefore, even when you get their fries just as the side in your combo, you can't taste them then either. They really are some of the most flavorless, just bad fries that I've ever eaten. I actually liked their old fries a hell of a lot more. I think they went off out of their way and made them worse. So for $1, if you just want a quick cheeseburger or a quick regular hamburger, get the fry burger, and unfortunately, you'll just have a little bit more calories added to it because they put french fries on there that you cannot taste. So I give the fry burger, for what it is, a 3 out of 5. It's not bad, it's just an okay burger. You can't really taste the fry, but it's only $1, so you can't really complain. Alright, that was a nice quick one for DFP Tries It. See you next time.
All right, guys. If they join session again, I'm just gonna have to fucking stop playing until they leave. Like, all they're doing is hurting my livelihood. If somebody could please like get me their information, like maybe like I forgot what that shit's called, but like if somebody could give me like their information, like their name, their address, the number, how I can get in contact with these guys, I would really like to know, because like I'm seriously considering suing them.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing yet again another episode of Social Media Lunacy. Today we are going to be talking about Wings of Redemption, or Jordy Jordan, which, by the way, your parents have to hate you to name you that name. But we see that this article has warning. This article, Jordy Jordan, contains material that is disturbing, such as pedophilia, which is always a good sign when we're looking into somebody. And we have the famous quote right here, look here, look, listen. I know they didn't get the whole thing, so I had to quote it properly. And that's when he was yelling at someone. That'll probably play either at the beginning or at the ending of this, so if you've already seen it, I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. Let's read up on who Jordy is. Jordy McCratty? Is that his name? McCratty. Jordy McCratty Jordan, born April 21st, 1986, age 35, better known as Wings of Redemption, also known as Richard, is an American Twitch streamer. Why is he also known as Richard? Where do you get Richard from? Did he make that up? Like, I don't get how you go from Jordy to Rick. That's weird. Is an American Twitch streamer and former Call of Duty commentator, which he hates Call of Duty now. I've seen him cry several times while playing it. He can be considered a pioneer in gaming community and was initially a very popular YouTuber in the Call of Duty scene during the early days of YouTube, even hosting his own podcast with other popular YouTubers. Despite all of this, looking back at his videos after his first year on YouTube, he has always been a target of hate by the community due to his mistreatment of his viewers, his problematic opinions on controversial subjects, and his overall unlikable, arrogant personality. Sounds familiar. It seems like all these people have a lot in common. Eventually, more drama began to be centered around him, leading to him being kicked off his own podcast. And that is a great story in of itself. It's really funny how he got kicked off the podcast. I hope we get to talk about that more in depth later. And losing many of his subscribers, which, not shocked. I could assume people would get bored of him rather quickly. Towards 2017, he started mentioning his desire to raise donations for a weight loss surgery. He eventually started, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the weight loss surgery was done in Mexico. I think he got it done cheap in Mexico, so it could be faulty, I don't know. He eventually started streaming on Twitch and slowly gave up on his YouTube to do it, requiring too much effort for him to consistently losing subscribers and viewers. His time on Twitch has no different than his YouTube in that he had a constant supply of detractors and negativity surrounding his name. One such characteristic of this negativity being the reputation he built up over the years of taking video games too seriously, to the point where he broke things and was screaming at others. And yes, I've seen plenty of his freakouts. We'll have to watch it sometimes. This inability to control himself led him to becoming the target of intense trolling and even more drama, which boiled over in 2017 when he had a breakdown over his fear of not being able to afford the surgery.
Alright guys, I give up. I don't know when I'll stream again. I really need to make this fucking money. I really wanted to get this fucking surgery, man. I wanted it so fucking bad. I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to just fucking stream and have a good time, man. Have a good game. I hate my life.
This stream sparked the trolling community and sent him into infamy, which, by the way, even after he got the surgery, he's still really fat and he isn't losing the weight, so the surgery was completely pointless. History. Jordy uploaded his first YouTube video on October 1st, 2009, which was a Call of Duty commentary, a relatively new thing at the time. After being shouted out by a popular Call of Duty commentator, he became very popular, quickly reaching over 100,000 subscribers when that was actually impressive, and was even popular enough to boost other YouTubers to fame, which is very nice of him. Not too many people do that nowadays. It's really sad. He soon got a contract with Machinima, a terrible idea, even further boosting his success back then, but Machinima was terrible towards its middle of its lifespan and the end. He would also collaborate with other Call of Duty commentators like Woody's Gamertag, FPS Kyle, FPS Russia, typical Call of Duty names, I guess. Together they launched the Painkiller Already podcast, which he would host on for many years before eventually getting kicked off. I hope we get to talk about that more in depth because I'm really interested to talk about it. Afterwards, he migrated to Twitch in 2016 and began streaming in hopes to supplement his income. And that was our introduction to Wings of Redemption, or Jordy Jordan. We see that he was a Call of Duty commentator back when that was a novel thing. He was a gameplay commentator when that was a novel thing. Not everyone talked over the video games that they were playing. And he was actually really ahead of his time when it came to gameplay. And it's going to be really sad when we talk about how he slowly descended into madness and how he slowly lost all of the fame that he had and all of the support that he had. But at the end of the day, it's all his fault. He is a man on a self-destructive path, and we'll be talking about that path that he went down the next time we cover him. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing yet again another social media lunacy. Today we are going to be continuing our dive into Wings of Redemption, and we are going to be covering one of his, actually his most controversial thing that he's ever done. I mean, actually, it's kind of debatable. I guess I'll leave it to you guys in the chat if this is the most controversial, because I know he's done something recently that's slightly more controversial, but this is definitely like the big thing when you think of Wings of Redemption dramas. In 2011, during his appearance on Painkiller Already, his podcast with his friends, Pro Syndicate was disrespected by Jordy unpromptedly, claiming he doesn't think Syndicate is good at Call of Duty, as Syndicate specialized in zombies game mode.
See,
I'm
to
just
me,
gonna say this: you're talking to a guy who's probably 4 times the multiplayer than you are.
Yeah,
And you, no matter. It doesn't matter. There's no
okay,
difference.
I'll do
I
that.
bet
You're
you, I
talking
bet
to
you
a guy
right.
who's
I
4
bet
times
you
the
right
zombie
now.
player you are.
I bet you right now I could get on zombies and stay toe for toe with Tom and not even know the fucking map.
Let's stream
You know
it.
why?
oh, let's do it.
Oh
baby.
yeah, there
You
it
know
is.
why? You know why I can do this? Because I use my brain. I'm like, well, where's my back at?
Oh yeah, let's show it.
I can,
That's why
I'm not about to go. I'm not about to go and play 6 hours.
What? You are not going to play 6 hours anyway.
For as long as you can anyway. Once you get a raid train locked down and you master that map, say if it's this new map, the second attempt.
I don't have the new map because they didn't have a multiplayer
second
map.
time
So.
out this map. Second time I attempt, I get around 30 time straight away.
If you go to
I'll learn that
Shangri-La,
map straight away.
oh, do 5. You guys both have 5.
I could do 5. I could raid train for hours. It just depends on how many hours you give me.
Let's see. Let's let Wings do his
That's the
thing.
thing.
Dude, I'm not playing zombies. Zombies is a 5-hour endeavor.
Well, there you go.
I'll tell you what. If you play for 5 hours, I'll give you $100.
Well, give me $100. I went to level 41 on my first attempt on the theater thing.
You need to do it.
You look at my fucking stats, you can see them.
I'm not saying if you've ever made a 5-hour game. You know, I'm saying if you hop on and your first game
Anyone
goes to
can
5
say,
hours, like you're
anyone
claiming.
can call out, oh, I'm better. So what, you're going to say, you're going to beat me on zombies because you play on 2 sensitivity, whereas I play on insane.
I'm saying
That's why you call me out.
insane does not mean shit.
Syndicate, I'd like to add this to the conversation. I am also much better at zombies than you, but I refuse to play or prove it or stream it or provide any kind of evidence about it because it would take me too long.
I didn't say I was better, so I'd go toe for toe with him. Like I would kill
Okay,
just
all right. Well, then I take it back. Tom, I am just as good as you, but I refuse to play.
It's boring as
No,
fuck.
that's
Like, I
fine.
think I don't play zombies. It's just
Let
boring
me
as
say
fuck.
this.
And for those of you guys who don't know, when it comes to regular Call of Duty, you have to deal with real players when you play online, which is what Wings of Redemption did. Wings of Redemption was an online player, and this was before he started reading and crying all the time, so he was actually pretty decent online. So he had to deal with people who have quicker reflexes and can do more to you than a zombie can. So when Syndicate was trying to bring up zombies and trying to talk about zombies and then also say that he's good at regular Call of Duty, Wings assumed that because he fought zombies, which are usually slower and not as big of a threat as a player, that he wasn't good at the regular game mode, which is a stupid assumption because I can play regular online mode and zombies. I just like zombies more, and I'm sure that's the mindset Syndicate came from. I wouldn't assume that one person sucks because they prefer zombies over multiplayer. So yeah, that just shows Wings of Redemption's own ignorance. And such, he would be inferior to him, the main deathmatch game mode. This led to the two being slated to have a Call of Duty one-on-one match, which was streamed live by Justin TV.
Nobody on the trash pile. Uh-oh, Wings knows where he is. Does Syndicate know where he is? Game on! Syndicate gets the shots on target. 6-3 Syndicate. Now, the thing you need to know about Wings is his style of gameplay. He's actually very, very good at these across-the-map sort of accuracy-based thing, you know, where we're both behind cover, we both have 2 or 3 pixels to aim at. That is Wings' cup of tea. That's what he's strong at. So he sets the rules up, and he says, we have to use M16. It has to be on Bog. It has to be... He lays it all out there, so it's to his advantage.
The stream was highly anticipated and viewed by many. Jordy was initially winning, but began to lose and started getting frustrated. After reaching a point where he knew he had no chance of winning, Jordy smashed his controller.
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking faggot.
And betrayed his co-host. They initially believed he was joking, but he later screamed at them, saying,
Fuck! Why the fuck you stream that shit?
It was your idea.
which became a catchphrase to mock him, and people still use that to mock him. After the disastrous match, Jordy tried to bribe Syndicate, where they'd each split money for another matchup if Syndicate threw the rematch.
A little time passes and like Keemstar gets involved in this. Keemstar was always opportunistic about when he found drama, and he's like, "We'll set up a 1v1 with you guys. We'll put, I forget what it was, like $5,000 on the line, and then winner take all." And Wings came to him and said,
Quote, you get $3,000, I get $2,000, but I have to come out on top. Sound like a good deal or want no part of it? Syndicate flatly refused, offended by the offer. Jordy grew desperate, saying, I need this kind of money. I don't make $2,000 a day. I got a family to feed, so money is a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way we both make money? And I beat you by like 1 kill in game 5. It's a $1,000 to lose a game you're not expected to win. I figured I'd offer it. To which Syndicate replied, no way, Wings. You just blew it, big style.
what did he want the split to be? It was to his...
See, that's the best part. Wings would keep the lion's share and get the victory.
Syndicate became fed up with Jordy and blocked him, further worsening Jordy's public image. Though they were both playing under the same set of rules, Jordy still holds a grudge about this match to this day, claiming he would have won if Woody Gamertag had set the match settings properly. 10-minute time limit, and radar always on. So for those of you guys who don't know, when you have the radar on, you can hear when people are around you and you can see when people are around you. So basically it would mean that Syndicate wouldn't be able to sneak up on Wings as easily, which means that Wings fucking sucks at the game and he can't actually play it unless it's like on baby mode. Stating that having a time limit and radar on keeps people from camping. And he can be right on that. But Wings is also a camper, so he has no room to talk on that. He's a fucking hypocrite.
Dude, he's just fucking hiding. Look, I'm looking at the fucking map right now. Where's he at?
Oh, I see him. He's not hiding. He's looking for you.
I'm standing on the fucking open. He can't see this because he's too busy laying on his belly half the time.
That's not true. Like, we can all see what he's doing. He's hunting for you.
Despite the fact that in the footage, you can see Syndicate is not camping, but in fact running around. Not to mention, Jordy is notorious for and takes pride in his camping playstyle. Exactly. I've seen him play so many matches where he'll just sit in a corner and wait for people to walk by and then shoot them. And now because people fuck with him, they walk in front of him and then try to block his view or get him noticed, so then people will run up and kill him. And then he rage quits.
Ah, damn it, dude. Webby, fucking leave, dude.
And that was everything involving Jordy and Pro Syndicate. Hopefully you guys learned something new today. There is a lot going on with this shit show. There was a lot that this shit show caused. It was really the beginning of the end for Jordy, or Wings of Redemption. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to him humiliating himself, him raging, him being an idiot. This is really the start of it all. So,
One of my pet peeves is I hate losing. I hate losing with a passion. I hate losing even more when I'm the only person that has something to lose. And it's something I've been trying to get over all my life. I mean, even when I was a child, I could not stand losing. It feels like I've failed in every form and manner, period, when I lose. I feel like I wasn't good enough to the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be playing.
hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be doing another social media lunacy. Today we are going to be covering EDP445. We're going to be finding out his early internet history, and in the next part we will be covering his big drama situations. So let's find out who EDP is today on DHT. We start with an amazing quote, that being his former intro. What the fuck's crackin' with my... I can't even say that now because YouTube doesn't like me saying it. It's yo boy, Eat That Pussy 445, coming back with y'all ho ass no life trolling motherfuckers with another goddamn video. He's a fucking brilliant fucking man. That is the most well-articulated sentence I've ever heard, and it is definitely better than my intro, which is just, hey guys, Dylan here. The man was a genius, well ahead of his time. Bryant Moreland, born December 15th, 1990, age 31, better known online as EDP445, short for Eat That Pussy 445, is an American former YouTuber and convicted felon. Known for his rant videos, vlogs, and for being a superfan of American football team Philadelphia Eagles. I know nothing about football, so I can offer nothing to any discussion that he may have about football. So I'm not going to rip on him for his football opinions. I'm not a sports guy. Bryant uploaded videos of rants, vlogs, cooking, reviews. It's starting to sound like fucking, it's starting to sound like, Darkside Phil, kinda, with all the random fucking shit here. And gaming. His channels included EDP445 2.0, backup, deleted, EDP Gaming number 1, gaming, and Chaotic Kitchen 445, cooking. And I'm pretty sure all of them are gone now or inactive because he is no longer allowed online. He initially gained popularity in the sports community with his rant videos, but since 2015, his popularity had once transcended into several internet communities, with his Eagles trade McCoy what the fuck's going on viral video. He had been a popular subject of internet memes, and several of his older now deleted videos experienced newfound popularity, such as I flooded the toilet in Chipotle. I want to know the context to that. I might end up watching that if I can find it somewhere. And nearly shitted myself at school. Brilliant titles. I gotta agree. Like, how can you fucking compete with EDP when he's releasing stuff like that, where he's talking about himself shitting? Starting in July of 2020, Bryant was involved in a series of allegations of child grooming and pedophilia. The allegations cumulated with him being caught attempting to meet a minor after sending sexual messages to a decoy in April 2021. Bryant deleted all of his videos on April 24, 2021, and YouTube terminated his channels. Shocking, because usually YouTube doesn't do shit. There have been rumors that Bryant is imprisoned at Henderson Detention Center, and the person who gave that info is questionable, so I wouldn't take that too seriously. I can't confirm that he's been locked up under his new name, but this is in dispute. Yes, I agree with that, because the guy who gave the info is really shady, and there's no hard proof. We just have to take that guy's word for it, and I don't like doing that. Bryant created his channel on June 13th, 2010, and uploaded his first video that same day, which featured him performing a freestyle rap. What a shock that he would be a rapper. He was 19 years old at the time. He didn't upload any Eagles-related videos until November 16th that same year, with 59 and 28. Eagles fucking kill the Redskins. Since then, Philadelphia Eagles has been the primary topic of his channel, though around this time he continued to release videos of miscellaneous content such as cooking videos, rants, Q&As, internet challenges, and vlogs. He sounds like your prototypical YouTuber, like your everyman, like the guy who does everything and never sticks to anything. Bryant is primarily known for his videos about Philadelphia Eagles. He also hosted a series called Don't You Hate That Shit in 2012, a spin-off channel. Chaotic Kitchen 445 debuted. The channel was dedicated to cooking. Another spin-off channel, EDP Gaming 1, followed in 2013. In 2017, as a backup channel, Taste This 2-inch Dick 445 Julio was created. Denied gold play button. On February 12, 2020, Bryant's YouTube channel hit 100,000 subscribers. He went on to release a video thanking his subscribers for the milestone on that same day. However, on March 5th, 2020, Bryant released a video titled No YouTube Gold Plaque/Play Button, revealing that YouTube denied him for a golden play button. claiming that his channel doesn't match their eligibility criteria, which is how I will feel because I know that my channel will never qualify even if I do get to that point. This decision was met with scorn from Bryant, saying that YouTube is on that little bullshit. Very fucking clever of him to really stick it to YouTube. And bringing up how his channel had zero community. Well, that doesn't matter. You don't have to have any guideline strikes or copyright strikes to still be a bad channel. Despite this, Bryant received 2 silver play buttons, the other for his backup channel, with no problems. YouTube's decision was met with a negative reaction from his subscribers and members of the YouTube community, garnering support from fellow YouTubers such as Scarce, one of my favorite YouTubers, Some Ordinary Gamers, my actual favorite YouTuber, and 8 Thoughts, I don't know who that is. Brian's fans also started a petition directed to YouTube to send him a gold play button. Content. Game recap / reactions. The most popular and common of Brian's videos were his videos about the Philadelphia Eagles. He made previews for the games and released a recap and reaction of the game afterwards, or sometimes during the game. Additionally, he made videos on developments of the team during the offseason, trades, NFL drafts, etc. He also occasionally made such videos for the San Antonio Spurs. Food reviews. Bryant reviewed food or drink items. What a shock with how big of a fellow Bryant is. I'm really shocked that he decided to do food reviews. It seems like every fat fuck on YouTube ends up doing food reviews at some point. It's like, hey, if they can pay me to eat a Big Mac and then I make money off of ad revenue for the Big Mac, that's like double the money and I get to eat a Big Mac. Fuck yeah. Due to Bryant going on a diet. Oh, sorry, still a bit sick. Due to Brian going on a diet in 2016, he hasn't made any more food reviews except for a video where he tries his first protein shake. It did him so good. Reaction videos. Other than reactions to the Eagles games, Bryant would make reaction videos to content suggested by his subscribers. I'm not shocked that he was a reactor. In the comments section, which was mostly graphic porn videos until 2014. Wow. Oh, I don't know why people are shocked that he was a predator then. Unboxing videos. And iDubbbz, he is not. Since the channel's inception, Bryant had made unboxing videos, ranging from unboxing Eagles merchandise to shoes and kitchen appliances. Basically anything he would buy, so then he can make a quick return on buying it. Since in 2016, many unboxing videos featured Bryant opening packages sent to him by his fans, which I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Don't You Hate That Shit? Don't You Hate That Shit was a series featuring Bryant talking about the things that annoyed him in life. 35 episodes have been made since 2012. Roast. Bryant, on various occasions, was seen roasting a fellow African American by the name of Maurice Jones, dissing him for his low income. Wow, ironic. Channels. Chaotic Kitchen 445. Due to a growing interest in Eat That Pussy 445 style cooking amongst fans, a spin-off channel dedicated to cooking premiered in 2012. EDP Gaming 1, another spin-off channel, this time focusing on gaming, premiered in 2013. This channel has remained inactive since 2014. Though in a Q&A video in 2015, Brian stated that he would eventually release a new Let's Play. That ain't gonna happen ever again. Despite this, he has yet to release another video on this channel, or any further Let's Plays in general. Stall Seat. Since EDP also liked wrestling, wow, what's up with all the weirdo wrestling people online? He created a channel to put his wrestling videos on. This channel would upload similar content to his main channel, with the only difference being that it was all wrestling related instead of football related. This, by far, EDP's least popular channel. only having about 1,250 subscribers. This channel has remained inactive since 2014 and is not linked on any of EDP's main channel. The channel's inactivity is likely due to EDP not watching wrestling anymore. Backup channels. In 2017, Brian created a backup channel, Taste This 2-Inch Dick 445 Julio, as a backup in case his videos being flagged or deleted, or his channel being terminated, which is actually ban evading and you shouldn't do that, you'll still get banned anyway. He began posting on it shortly after his channel began to get flagged, and all of his videos were temporarily removed by YouTube. However, within 2 weeks, he gained his channel back, and the Taste This 2-Inch Dick 445 Julio channel has been deleted. Most of his content that was on that channel is presumably lost, and no one cared. On October 17, 2018, Brian's channel was terminated yet again, so he created another backup channel, EDP 445 2.0. Even after his channel was restored, he occasionally uploads random videos to that account. In the media, Brian's earliest appearances in the media was in a video for the Philadelphia City paper. This video in question was about the Philadelphia Eagles fan reaction to the team's lackluster season that year. Brian made multiple appearances on the Comedy Central series Tosh.0. His video, Eagles Trade McCoy What the Fuck, was featured on an episode of MTV's series Ridiculousness. Also in 2015, he was featured on ESPN's Sports Nation and Fox News. Wow, he's really quite famous, isn't he? In 2015, Bryant began hosting a series on rapper Tyler the Creator's app, Gulf Media, called All the Way Live with EDP 445. This series is a parody of sports news programs like SportsCenter, as well as random comedy skits. All of Brian's content from the Gulf Media app is presumably lost, except for one video that featured him infiltrating the Dallas Cowboys training camp, which has been re-uploaded on YouTube. In 2016, Brian was featured on the Howard Stern show. Howard Stern even used Brian's likeness to prank call a record store. In 2020, conservative strategist Roger Stone praised him on Parler for his support of the US President Donald Trump. Wow, EDP was a Trump supporter. What a great guy. And that was your basic introduction to EDP 445. I know I only briefly talked about the things that he's infamous for. I'm going to have a whole video dedicated to his dramas and dedicated to his cupcake shenanigans. So if you guys are interested in more EDP, stick around for that. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are continuing our video on EDP. And today we're going to be talking about his drama, his cupcake shenanigans, and the termination of his channels. Terminations and new channel. On July 11th, 2017, Brian's channel was suspended for approximately 2 weeks. The following day, all videos were removed. The channel is currently on the path of being terminated due to several users who dislike his content mass flagging him. Once his channel was restored, he changed his name from Eat That Pussy 445 to EDP 445. So him changing his name was a way to get his channel from being banned. Aside from his YouTube channel being terminated, Bryant's main Twitter account is currently suspended. On October 17, 2018, Brian's channel was terminated. Allegedly, Super Mario Logan's fans reported numerous videos, since at the time he betrayed Brian. But he created a new channel immediately afterwards entitled EDP 445 2.0. He frequently used it to this day, while his original channel is back, and frequently uses it too while keeping up with his new account. I think all of his accounts are banned now. After Brian was caught attempting to meet a minor, after sending sexual messages to a decoy in April 2021, Brian deleted all of his videos on April 24th, 2021, and YouTube terminated his channels 3 days later. So a bit redundant with the phrasing, but it's okay, not everyone wants to revise a wiki. Controversy. Remarks towards Dak Prescott. On October 11th, 2020, Brian released a video called Fuck That Prescott. During the 2020 NFL season in Week 5, NFL game between New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys the same day. Oh great, it's football drama. I know nothing about it. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury, which was a compound fracture and a dislocation to his right ankle. In the video, Bryant said that Prescott's injury was karma for Dallas Cowboys fans for making fun of the then Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. That is some petty shit to do. That is some petty shit. When someone is suffering and then you go around saying that's karma, that's pretty fucked. You have to be a pretty sick person to do that. Carson Wentz season-ending injury in 2017 NFL season, in which during a 14-week game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams, Wentz tore his ACL during the game. He then said that he hoped that Dak's injury is career-ending. Why? Why would you do that? That's so fucked up. Why would you wish that on anyone? That's his whole life. Brian would receive immense backlash from many content creators, including Cold Raven, the man who accused EDP of texting minors, saying that he should address the accusations, and Jamari, who pointed out a video of EDP made years ago calling out Eagles fans who made fun of Tony Romero's injury. The remarks made by Bryant would serve as a turning point of his career going downhill. And now here's the part I'm sure everyone is here for. This is the whole reason why people know who this guy is. His predatory shenanigans. Predatory behavior. On July 9th, 2020, Brian released a video clearing up rumors that he had been voice chatting with underage minors. His fan base thought nothing of it. Wow, what a shock. I've never had to deal with that. With some claiming that it was just a Karen or group of them trying to take down his channel. I've never had that reaction in my life when exposing a pedophile. I can't relate. On October 14, 2020, a YouTuber, Cold Raven, released episode 8 of his series Slaughterhouse. In the video, Cold Raven showed proof that EDP had indeed been messaging minors, and showed multiple conversations of him trying to hook up with underage girls. Even after that video, Cold Raven continued to release new evidence, and eventually sent an account of his own acting as an underage decoy, which Brian fell for. Wow, even with damning proof, no one believed him. What a shock. It's almost like predators just get to do whatever they want on YouTube. Around November 13th or the 15th, 2020, the video has since been deleted. Brian released a video titled My Response to Cold Raven. In this video, he is seen eating at Wingstop. Wow, your big fucking video where you try to prove you're not a pedophile and you go to Wingstop and chow down while making it. I guess fucking Tubby couldn't hold back. While in the middle of the video, he pulls out and cocks his 1911 mil-spec 45 stainless steel handgun. I'm sure a friend of mine is freaking out over that. And continues to eat his food. On November 17th, EDP read out a donation on his live stream. Brian always deleted his live streams after he was done streaming, asking about the allegations, which he responded with a group of no-life, no-pussy-getting motherfuckers decided to make a fuckload of fake accounts pretending to be fucking girls. And like a dumbass, I fell for it. Oh wow, the pedophile acting like the victim and everyone's out to get them. What a shock. And now everyone is on this fucking pedo shit. Wonder why. The same day, Drama Alert invited Cold Raven onto the show to give some insight on the situation. The video in question is on Storyfire because Keemstar thought that the video subject matter would be too harsh against YouTube's terms of service, which is really fucked up, and I think YouTube needs to revise those services, but whatever, they're not going to. Brian was invited too, but he didn't respond. Instead, the same day, Brian released 2 response videos directed towards Cold Raven. One video, since deleted, was 10 minutes long, and in this video, he stated, I don't care about the law. If she's 15 to 17, it's okay as long as she's... as long as she's wearing skimpy clothing. Oh my god. These pedophiles, they all act the fucking same. They all act the same, and they use YouTube as their fucking breeding grounds. On December 11th, 2020, Brian posted picture of himself posing with a female fan, claiming that they were dating. It was proven false due to the fact that the NFL had not yet allowed any in-person attendance since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Wow, it's getting a bit too real. Afterwards, he was caught yet again texting a minor. EDP released another response to Cold Raven, stating that he had already had a girlfriend named Jessica. I'm sure the Jessica I know is very happy that this girl's name is Jessica, and that he did not plan on revealing her to his fans. By the end of December 2020, he had been caught texting a total of 8 minors. What a sick fuck. On April 18th, 2021, 2 YouTubers specialized in pedophile hunting, which you should not do. You should always get the police involved. Every person I've talked to, I've encouraged them to take what they have to the police, and in any case where I could take it to the police, I already took it to the police beforehand. You don't do this. You don't go out and hunt people, especially in person. Like, this is the worst thing that you can do, because you could get hurt. Alex Rosen, with the channel Chet Goldstein, formerly using the channel Predator Poachers and CC Unit, recorded an interaction held by them with Bryant about the messages that were exchanged by someone who posed as a 13-year-old and Bryant that contained sexual content, including a picture of his penis, and content involving either his fecal matter, ejaculation, and or masturbation sent by Brian. Why did it have to be fecal?
We have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay. Sophie is how old? Before, and again, I have it right here. I know the answer, but I just need you to tell me the answer. How old is she?
13.
13, okay.
Right.
And before we get into the messages, there was sexual content involved, yes or no?
Right.
And you sent
Correct.
Okay, all right. So, again, so what brings you out here today?
Well, I was coming out here to...
Glasses off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home. There was, nothing that was going to be sexual involved because I'm not like that, well, obviously the text messages and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was all that was going to happen.
Oh, okay, so you should title a video, instead of, your video, Almost Threw Hands with a 13-year-old, you should title your video, Almost Had Sex with a 13-year-old. I think that'll get a lot of hits, EDP.
I think so.
Yeah.
The full video of him being confronted was released on April 20th. In the video, it includes footage of Alex contacting the local authorities on Brian. Well, I'm glad he at least tried to do something.
I have a phone up in my pocket, right? I'm going to see, and I'll even do it while you guys are here, okay?
Go ahead, call the cops then, yeah.
No, not...
Okay, sheriffs.
I want to call a place to go get help.
You're not going to get help. You had plenty of chances to get help. Every single time you got exposed for it.
You guys are going to witness that, though.
Look, you've been exposed for this 6 different times. Here you are, not learning your lesson.
Please don't, man.
This is not okay. This is not okay. Honestly, we're doing you a big favor.
No, you guys, please.
Hi, is this Bakersfield, Kern County?
Are you guys really doing it?
Are you really doing this?
There's somebody here to meet
You're here to meet a 13-year-old.
Who has solicited photos. There's somebody here to...
Are you really doing this?
Yes. Okay, it's apartments.
Are you serious?
I don't know what apartments.
What do you mean, come on, man? What can I do? We're trying to get you help. Dude, because you're not going to get help.
Hold on.
Hey, I suggest you stay here because everybody knows who you are, right?
Right.
You better just get yourself some help right here, right now. Just stand here. Just stand here and let the cops take care of it.
Dude.
You're the one who put yourself in this position.
You guys, we went to jail for a long time, okay?
You ready?
Beforehand, Brian had made a video on his backup channel announcing that he would delete all of his videos on his main channel. Many have mistaken this for being after the altercation, so he was already prepared to delete everything and run ahead of time. Innocent man. Aftermath. On April 23rd, Brian privated all of his videos, including most of the videos on the EDP445 2.0 account. Many of the people who were associated with Brian announced that they had cut ties on him. On April 27, 2021, the EDP445 confrontation video was deleted alongside Alex's channel being terminated. Brian's main account was also terminated along with EDP445 2.0. As of April 28th, 2021, Brian's cooking channel, his gaming channel, and stall seat have not been removed by YouTube, which they should be. But YouTube doesn't actually care, they only pretend to care. On May 2nd, Brian uploaded a video on his Facebook page announcing that he would be moving all of his new videos to his website soon. On May 6th, Brian uploaded another video to Facebook page, this time blasting YouTube channels Chet Goldstein, CC Unit, and Cold Raven about his alleged predatory behavior, while still promoting his website. This caused him to meet with backlash, as many people, including Tipster and Augie, great people by the way, pointed out how Brian rarely touched his own allegations and how he cherry-picked Chet's wrongdoings in order to make himself seem innocent. Everyone sucks in this matter. No one is innocent. They're all terrible. Ultimately, his website never launched, and then the domain expired. What a befitting end. Brian also possibly changed his name with the state of Nevada. This can be supported as you can no longer search for Brian's name change request with Clark County. Legal action has yet to be taken against Brian. However, the local police department has confirmed an investigation is underway. Due to the sting by Alex, however, the police have said that it made it a little harder to charge Brian, as the sting made the investigation harder. Brian has since moved out of Bakersfield, California, and moved to Henderson, Nevada. He has made a video of him showing his gun collection under a new channel named The Notorious EDP. The fact that he acknowledges that he is notorious is not good. The fact that he is still trying to come back is not good. The channel had been terminated by YouTube, but Brian made a backup channel. On August 29th, Brian was spotted in a McDonald's in Oklahoma. How did you get to Oklahoma, EDP? Get out! Don't stay here, leave. During a stream by Instagram user EDP.store. So EDP is so recognizable that some fucker in Oklahoma recognized him. I guess he came all the way down here for a cupcake. He came all the way here because we have plenty of great cupcake shops. Brian had also made a channel on 3Speak, which was quickly terminated. Good. On September 23rd, Master at Work had announced in a live stream that he had received information from one of his sources. According to the source, Brian has until October 1st to move out of Spur Apartments after the owner of the complex receiving constant complaints, and after an incident, an angry woman recognized him by the pool in the complex. He also had $3,300 remaining in his bank account and had got a job in a trucking company, but quit that job after 2 days, and a job in a fast food restaurant which only lasted a few days, so he can't even get a job because he was exposed for being a pedophile online. EDP tried to plead with people to leave him alone, but many internet sleuths said that they won't stop until his death or imprisonment. EDP also tried to take his own life, but one of his closest friends talked him out of it. After receiving the eviction from the Spur Apartments, Brian moved into a 3-star hotel in Henderson, Nevada, called Railroad Pass Casino. On October 6th, a TikTok user named Lynn had posted a video of Brian taking a job for Lyft. On November 22nd, Brian applied for a job at Chuck E. Cheese. No. Chuck E. Cheese has a bad enough rep without EDP working there. This will become the real Five Nights at Freddy's if EDP is allowed to be there. We will witness the real Bite of 87 if EDP is allowed to work there, but was turned down. Free EDP movement. On April/May 2021, the free EDP movement started to come quickly after his controversy with minors. The movement started mostly in TikTok comment section saying free EDP, with the EDP profile picture and the controversial text of him half naked with a smile, then more YouTubers started to notice it more, but very little choice to talk about it. And mainly the free EDP subject was at the end of the YouTube videos of documentaries about EDP 445, also known as Brian Moreland. But some tried to support the movement like George Floyd Gaming, an upstanding individual. During summer of 2021, the trend and movement died off. And that was everything about EDP. So in this, we learned about his lame football channel. We learned about his lame YouTube career. We learned that he's like a lot of the other people, like Darkside Phil, or, yeah, you know, the fucking people. Wings of Redemption, Darkside Phil. He's a fat fuck who sucks at everything he does, makes a ton of different content that nobody fucking likes, thinks people want to watch him eat, thinks people want to watch him do stupid fucking shit like unbox what he bought with the money that he makes. He was your typical guy, but he started talking to minors, and he specifically went out of his way to hunt down one with the promises of getting a cupcake. So he tried to fuel both his pedophilia and his hunger at the same time. And that was his downfall. That was his downfall. The cupcake screwed him over in the end. The cupcake was a lie. Hopefully you guys learned something with EDP though. I saw a lot of people say that they didn't even know what his name stood for. Now you know. And now you know everything terrible about him.
He's right in the front. He admitted to wanting to have with her, to eat all this crap.
Sending graphic
photos.
Asking
just send somebody. He's gonna run off. Yes.
I'm not
yes,
running off. I'm standing right here. All right, stand here then.
Okay, get me connected to bit.
You know what you are? Do you know how many people told us about you? A lot. Hundreds of people said, please look into EDP. Please. This guy's a creep. He's messaging minors. He's hitting up minors. He's doing all this disgusting stuff. And you have the audacity to say, please don't do this. Are you serious? We should be asking you, please don't do this to minors. You should be not doing this to minors.
Please. Apartments. There's somebody here to meet a 13-year-old girl who wanted to do things with her. He admitted everything on camera. We have it all, so.
Hey, by the way, if you delete everything, we have everything recorded.
Yes, it's called Apartments. Yeah, it's right across from the wall. Jack in the Box on the right end.
He's calling a friend. He's calling a friend right now.
Yeah, he's at the apartments.
He's calling a friend right now. Philip?
Just please come. God, it's in Bakersfield.
Right by the jacket.
Okay, please come quick. He's calling, it looks like he's calling some backup. Okay, all right.
You see, this is what I'm saying. You have no sympathy.
Hello?
You have no sympathy.
Hi. Apartments in Bakersfield, California. There's somebody here that wanted to 13-year-old girl. We have him admitted to everything. Say again? What? Oh, he's just like in front of the apartment. So we're just like talking to him. Yes, just please send somebody over here. I should rather explain. He's a heavy-set black man. He's 30. I know his name. We have everything on him. His name is Brian. His name is Brian. Just please send somebody over here, like ASAP. Bryant, like Kobe Bryant. Yes.
Man, they have. They're calling the police.
Can we tell him to hurry up?
He can't. Just please send somebody over here.
Right now, man.
You don't know
I have my car.
He came to a 13-year-old, and he has multiple. Because he admitted everything to us. We have all these messages saved with him. He's asked for lewd material. It's a sting operation. We have an organization that does this. But can you just please just send somebody over here? ALEXROSEN.
Alright, he's gonna go home. He just said he's gonna go home.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing social media lunacy. Today we're going to be talking about Linkara. We are going atop the fourth wall. Now there is a lovely song here. I'm not going to read these lyrics. They are amazing though, and later on I'm going to see if I can get someone to sing it. So when I do a full version, you guys will be able to hear this amazing song over Linkara's song. You can see some of the lyrics right here though. Here's Linkara pointing his little toy gun at the camera like a big man. We see him in his Power Ranger suit. He's definitely too fat for that. Green Ranger is a lot of people's favorite for some reason. Don't know why. Here's young Linkara. Wow. He didn't look that bad back then. He always looked weird. He's definitely thinner back then. Lewis Lovehog, which is a weird name. It is definitely the strangest name I've heard in a while. Is a pro-feminist, neocon, closeted bisexual sick fuck. And by the way, I'm reading this off of ED, so if you get mad about some of the language use, it's totally them. I'm just going to read it as is, except for if it uses too many slurs, because that's monetization reasons. Who currently spends his time reviewing comic books on Channel Awesome, which, shockingly, he's still a part of. Even after everything that went on, Linkara is still associated with them, as far as I'm aware of. He's been around for a while. Where he pretends he was never a bad comic writer himself. With Sonichu level art skills, he actually pretended to be a different comic artist just to build lore around his comic to make it seem more professional. He pretended to be a different person and then admitted to it publicly, defeating the whole purpose of pretending to be someone else. So I have no idea why he did that. But we are going to read. We are definitely going to read his comic. I have every intention on doing it. I also run a second channel that's mostly comic themed, so I have a lot of reasons to really want to do this. I love superheroes, and Lightbringer seems really interesting to me. I really want to read every fucking issue. It'll just be me. I might get a girl on to do the female characters. Haven't decided on that yet. But the fucking Lightbringer reading is definitely coming. I'm going to do that regardless. And a retired man slut, and yes, you heard that correctly, who hung out on adult websites in search of cock. And yes, that is true. He claims to have a bachelor's in English with a minor in philosophy, meaning his parents paid for his college education and he had no idea what to do with it. Which is very sad. You see a lot of SJW millennials just go and get degrees on anything, and it's not really going to help them get a job. He didn't get a job with his college education. I'm not judging him. I'm just saying there's no point in doing it if you don't get a job. But it's just a giant waste of money when you study pointless classes that doesn't help you in a career at all. He also claims that makes him a college-educated professional comedian. You didn't take comedic classes. You didn't fucking take stand-up comedy. There are stand-up comedy classes. You are wrong, Linkara. When in reality, it just makes him a retard with a useless degree. Yes, you are 100% right on that. And I'm going to leave their little ad up. I'm not going to close their ads. I'm glad that Edie is back, and I'm glad that they have advertisements again. As long as they aren't horribly inappropriate. Hopelessly unfunny and thoroughly convinced he will achieve feminist godhood by endless sucking Gail Simone's cock. His videos epically fail on every account. And I actually used to be a Linkara fan. I used to watch Linkara all the time. I kind of got bored of him and moved on. But I'm going to tell you a story in part 2 of this where I go over all of his slut behavior. And I'm banned from following Linkara on Twitter. He blocked me. Being blessed with a grating voice, I can feel you there. I'm on the same boat with that one. And the comedic timing of a dead man. Ironically, despite claiming to be a bona fide feminist, Lovehog also claims to be a conservative. I mean, there can be conservative feminists, it's just not that common, which at least fits with his book burning. I like that one. He actually burns a lot of comic books if they're bad, which I think is bad for the environment and you shouldn't do it. I get that it's for your lol funny character, but I wouldn't do that. It's a waste of paper. It burns shit into the fucking sky, which isn't fucking needed, and it's a waste of a comic book that you could have sold or gave away. When he gets the chance, he tries to make you buy his Watchmen ripoff comic he made. I don't know if I would say that Lightbringer is a Watchmen ripoff. It's a ripoff of a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Just quoting Rorschach isn't enough for it to be a Watchmen ripoff. It's not smart enough. It's not smart enough to be a Watchmen ripoff. As his series goes on, he also continues to be agonizingly unlulzy due to boring as fuck source material, missed joke opportunities, and a storyline. See, that is what made me stop watching Linkara. Before, his shitty little story was at the end of the video, and I could tolerate that because I'd stop watching. But now his stories are everywhere, and they consume a lot of shit, and I don't care. I don't care about his stupid fucking stories. They're bad. They're all bad. As unfunny and uninteresting as many of the contributors on the site. Seriously, why the fuck does reviews need exactly? The reviews do not need a plot. I did not come here for your cosplay. I did not come here for your stupid story about evil robot versions of you. Practically every character is him. I didn't come here for this. I wanted you to review a bad book. That's it. Same thing goes to Doug. Same thing goes to James. Just stop with this shit. It's cringe. It's not funny. You quit being funny a long time ago. They are as bad as porn with stories and only showcase his pathetic wish fulfillment power fantasy. Exactly. He has like a really suave version of himself. And even though it's supposed to be like a suave version of himself, it's still cringy, and he does like a terrible fucking accent. It reminds me of Lunatic Leonard. Also speculated upon is the fact that he actually knows anything about comics. I get that feeling too. It feels like he just goes on Wikipedia to find a lot of his information, but that's just me. Or that he just bought himself a collection of books, like the way Irate Gamer did, buying himself his game collection from eBay so he could make money off of his original show concept. I don't think James owned his collection either. I think it was Mike Matei's at the beginning. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure people gave James a lot of his games. Angry Video Game Nerd. As stated several times by himself, Linkara only does this for the money that the site brings in. I mean, I can't blame him. A hustle is a hustle. I'm not gonna fucking be mad at him as long as he's still entertaining when doing it, but that's where we disagree with each other, including ranting why the Watchmen movie sucked so he could earn money on trolling the fans. See, I have issues with the Watchmen movie. It is a good adaptation. It leaves out a lot. I wish they could have had more time. I wish they could have done a show instead of a movie, but the casting is fucking perfect. A lot of the scenes are replicated like pretty accurately. And changing the ending was a damn good idea because I never liked the idea of a giant alien squid anyway. So that's just me. That's just me nerding out about Watchmen. However, in recent years, it's become quite obvious that he has metamorphized into one of the contributors who believes that maybe, just maybe, this can turn out to be a full-time job. And by the way, to bring up Spoonie, Spoonie used to be a part of Linkara's show. He brought on his character, Dr. Insano, or sometimes said Dr. Insano. I don't know which one's correct, but I'm going to say Insano. And when Spoonie started being an idiot, and he left Channel Awesome, or he got kicked from Channel Awesome, Linkara straight up stole his character and made Dr. Lin Sano, and it's literally just him wearing a jacket and goggles, the same goggles, but the jacket's brown, so it's not the same as Spoonie's, and it's still the same jacket he normally wears. So yeah, he stole Spoonie's character. But as this example shows, like a good company man, Linkara rabidly defends even the worst of his co-contributors. That's where me and him separate from one another. I have thrown my guys under the bus when they are dumb, And that's why a lot of people don't work with me and don't like me, including the massive fail loser known as the Distressed Watcher. Furthermore, to ensure his loyalty to Channel Awesome, you gotta fucking sacrifice to your overlords, he had to post that he refused to comment on that Aussie guy's canning. Sadly, Linkara has become quite popular on the site, and his rabidly retarded fans quickly cast out any combined shit reviews, failures, evidence that Linkara's role is minimal, as he studies his co-workers on the site so he can be a part of their clique. By example, trying to quote the movie Dune with Spoonie and Nostalgia Critic's brother, many months after Spoonie had told about this activity in a video commentary. If you thought Nostalgia Critic calling out Angry Video Game Nerd into a battle to boost his fame was sad, then you should take a look at Linkara. Exactly. It's quite obvious. No one on that guy with the glasses, now Channel Awesome, now whatever the fuck they call themselves, knows how to do a proper review. Exactly. I had that issue for so long, as Linkara just gives a summary of the plot of what he's reviewing, giving rise to the question, why would anyone buy the thing when they can just have some professional reviewer, in quotes, read out the whole thing to you in the same bland, monotone voice. We're going to read a little bit more, and then we're going to wrap up this part 1. Potential furry. And this does count as degenerate behavior, but it's up here, so we're just going to read it here. I don't want to have to scroll back up and down. Potential furry isn't that inappropriate anyway, so we'll just do it here. In his countdown prologue video at 11 minutes after going to a furry character and given the chance to make a joke about furries, he instead gets butthurt and says the following quote, "No, I'm not going to make a furry joke. Get over it, internet. Some people just don't have the same interest as you." And if that Linkara voice is bad, I'm sorry. I tried. I'm trying my hardest here. I can't do every voice. I'm not the fucking impressionist. Not to mention that his support for the furry fandom is well known on the forum. Perhaps a bit too well known. Potential lulls may ensue if Linkara actually does turn out to be a furry. This is also the most likely reason why he refuses to review Sonichu on his show, because he does not want to insult one of his own kind. And Chris Chan's a debatable furry. Also, we wrap this into Chris Chan somehow, so yeah, meta quota there. Additionally, in his Angel Armor series, he states the protagonist, Lewis, you named your main character after yourself, is in love with a cat girl. Very Neko of him. It can't get much more blatant than that. Or it's ripping off Food Fight. Linkara the writer. As mentioned before, Linkara has a degree in English. This has led Linkara under the blind impression that he is a writer. Hysterically, Linkara's writing is worse than his video reviews. Don't believe me? Read the same pages of Linkara's Angel Armor series. Note how he insults the reader for not knowing obscure Greek mythology, fails at recapping what happened in the last books, and uses rape to introduce drama, which continues into his comic, by the way. So if you guys are happy about that, it's going to be a reoccurring thing in his comic. And has a cat woman who can magics. And yet again, cat women, as his self-inserts girlfriend. Truly, that English degree has cultivated a truly great writer. Another thing to note is how Linkara writes for 2 webcomic books at the same time. There is a 3rd webcomic book, and by the way, I also write for books online, so I can't really talk too much there. I want to assume my books are slightly better than Lightbringer. I know I'm selling myself short there. I just refuse to say that I'm the best out there. I only gave that information because it's relevant to me looking at his book, because I know how it is to be a webcomic creator. Book, Linkara is peripheral in it as well as crossover. This suggests Linkara is an all work no play kind of guy who is This suggests that Linkara is an all-work, no-play kind of guy who constantly spews shit, possibly explaining how he got Iron Liz, since Linkara probably can't be bothered going on more than 15 minutes out of his basement, since he has more important comics books to write. And no, not a single one of them are good. And that's true. The saddest part is, through all of his posturing as some sort of comic book critic with taste and level-headed sensibilities, he's just another piece of shit public-hosted webcomic runoff that got lucky. And one of the main things that he talked about in his reviews, and I watched a lot of his reviews growing up, is that you shouldn't use rape unless it's really needed, and he does not follow that rule. And I'm gonna stop saying that word now, hopefully, because yet again, YouTube doesn't like that word. Revolution of the Mask. A really bad 1984 ripoff mixed with The Watchmen with a hint of The Dark Knight Returns. Did he make this? I didn't hear of that one. I guess I'm gonna look at that too. I want to know that. I thought they were calling The Lightbringer a Watchmen ripoff. I want to fucking read this. Revolution of the Mask is also where Linkara uses his useless philosophy minor to spew nonsense. Oh, I love that type of shit. I need to read this comic. Linkara, being borderline retarded feminist he is, depicts women being forced to give men sex. Really? Again? Why is this in all your stuff, Linkara? Calm down. All times when asked for, as to warn people of this where society is heading. Oh yeah, sure, that's where it's going. Only with certain people. The protagonist is abducted by a Rorschach ripoff, so it's also ripping off V for Vendetta. Wonderful. A Wonder Woman ripoff, and a ninja, because that's befitting, who are all conveniently the world's first superheroes. Wow, how did they all know to meet with each other? Linkara had to go through 3 artists in order to get even 2 issues released. That's not good. With one of them just altogether disappearing on him. I can say that comic books are hard to get out. I have 4 chapters of my comic out, and I have been dealing with a lot of real life stuff, so I haven't been able to write, but hopefully I can get back on that soon. What a great businessman. Now we get to talk about the great one. Hopefully they don't spoil too much. Lightbringer, a truly epic piece of lulz. When looking at his earliest pieces of MS Paint drawings, Linkara would eventually hire out an actual artist, which is when the story got kind of decent, in order to throw money away at a comic no one reads. The story is about the first superhero in the world, again, who is essentially Bruce Wayne, but with some vague powers. There really isn't a story here outside of tasteless cruel acts against women, a common theme with him. The goons of Something Awful had a field day with his story, and I might read their I might read their stuff later. Linkara took it to heart. Cross Overlord. What? Lord? Oh, you mean that comic he barely worked on and abandoned for people to finish while he joined that guy with the glasses, Circle Jerk? I guess he just abandoned that comic altogether. And this is the final part that we're doing for part 1. History of Power Rangers, and this is a very lulzy part. You guys are going to love hearing about this. As a side project, Linkara likes to spurg out about his favorite Japanese show as a kid that was severely butchered and is nowhere near as good as Kamen Rider. Here, he critiques each series like a fine wine or a classic piece of American literature. He also goes out of his way to buy official props used on the show, as said by copycat dealers making a fast buck on this retard at Comic Cons. In November 2010, Linkara's recent update about his series started off with a 6-minute butthurt statement, and that is the famous Power Ranger rant, driven at his fan base. He claims that he was busy being jobless, attending conventions, and filming the worst thing imaginable next to Kick-Assia, which is a Channel Awesome movie that I might talk about later. The horror starts at 22-minute mark. Lewis apparently doesn't understand how to make a short message about his future work being put on hiatus, and gets a huge uproar of fan backlash from his pure ignorance Furthermore, he probably should have been far less bitchy about this update. I need to take that criticism. I need to work on that myself. So I have no room to judge, no room to quip. I'm not even gonna fucking comment on it. But no one really gives that much of a shit about his History of Power Rangers series to tell him this. And I don't know if he ever apologized for that, but that's him fully dressed up as an obese Green Ranger. And that was part 1 on Linkara. Right now, we covered all the safer work stuff, but next time we're gonna get into the weird stuff, the degenerate stuff. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that, because it's gonna get spicy. But hopefully you guys like this basic introduction to Linkara. There are other series out there that document Linkara. Mr. Medicare made a really good video on Linkara if you want a full history on who he is and what he did and what he got up to online. This is just a basic introduction.
Let me say this once again, since apparently it was not made clear when this video series began. History of Power Rangers has no set schedule. The videos are done when they're done and will be released when they're done. In case you haven't noticed, I've been more than a little busy the last few months. If you haven't noticed, wake up already!
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are continuing where we left off last time. That is our little bit of a dive into Linkara. If you didn't watch my last Linkara video, you should go check it out now, because you won't understand what's going on if you don't. So this part of it is going to be covering Linkara's degeneracy and desperation. I plan on covering more of his degeneracy later. It's just there's going to be a lot of screenshots involved, and I have to edit out all the porn that is in the screenshots. So for right now, we're just going to read what's left of the article, and then we're going to read more of his shit later. Iron Liz, Linkara's boy, X'd out girlfriend. Warning, Iron Liz may actually be Invisible Crane, who I don't know who that is. It's probably some other social media influencer. Before or after the sex change, we can't actually tell which way around. And that's a picture of Iron Liz right there. Iron Liz was actually in the comment section of my last video. They joined my server. Iron Liz is Linkara's girlfriend. Was girlfriend. It really, this article's outdated, but I don't expect ED articles to get updated. Though the girl part is debatable. Linkara introduced us to this beautiful flower by having her host 2 of his episodes. To no one's surprise, these videos were bombarded with hateful comments since she failed to be nearly as lolzy as Linkara. Ironically, he wrote these episodes, which makes you wonder even more about his abilities as a writer. This stunt proved to be so unsuccessful, in fact, that some fans are still praising Telod that Iron Liz did not return to review. And they compare Christian to Iron Liz. So there's our Christian quota. Finally, no more Iron whatever the hell her name is. Good old Linkara. So that's someone praising that Iron Liz quit showing up. Here's more pictures of Liz. I hope that doesn't get me in trouble. Of course, the Geico caveman, seriously, look at her manly forehead, wrote a butthurt entry on her site. All about this, detailing how she will cut your belly open. Oh wow, edgy, literally. Because she is pissed that fans rightfully complained about her lackluster effort. I get the same thing, so I feel you on that. And actually blaming her boyfriend for most of the problems that she had with her cameos. Bah. Thanks to that guy with the glasses. Wankery, really? Are we British? However, Iron Liz decided to make her own review show of RPG games, which is probably terrible. Wait, you thought she reviewed video games? No. She reviewed tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. Did that need a review, really? That's right. Iron Liz decided to review the most obscure and useless of all things ever. I wouldn't say obscure, it's been referenced more times in media than most things. Taking boring, lame Board James award. Which, by the way, Board James is dead, R.I.P. Concept of reviewing board games and making it much worse. Iron Liz even takes after Spoonie with long fucking blogs about a big poopy head her boss is including this horrifying piece of work, which I'm not clicking on. Warning, this video will fuck out your brains. I'm not watching that. No, I'm not getting in any trouble today. Skip to 6 minutes in unless you like hearing about her fucking family and how much she hates them. Oh wow, edgy. Are you 15? It should be noted that after the fucking S is abbreviated, he appeared in Linkara's show. The fans were immediately confused about her gender, thus ended up making sad videos where she only wore her bra, which is a good idea, definitely not going to make more people make fun of you, and had the camera focused on her cleavage, which is not safe for work. All of this just to prove that she is indeed a woman, in hopes that some sad fucks would fap to her, which hopefully no one did. Speaking of Spoonie, she immediately flew off the handle when Spoonie made a gay joke in one of his videos. Ooh, spooky. It reminds me of those ads back in the 2000s where someone would be saying gay, and then a celebrity would walk up and say, "You shouldn't say gay." I remember those ads fondly. She then proceeded to rage, much to the indifference of everyone else. That's how you know you failed as a lolcow, when no one even cares if you rage. No one's even interested to see you spurg out. Again, what a catch Linkara got. It's probably still one of the best ones he could get. The two eventually moved in together, but the stress of living together with a he/she, not a he/she, a he/she, must have gotten too strong for Linkara as the two broke up in late 2011. I can't really blame anyone on that. Living together with someone is really hard, and it is definitely the most trying part of a relationship. And most marriages don't even work out, so I'm not going to say anyone fucked up on that endeavor. It's just a really difficult thing to do. It's easy to shit on people for it, but it's a lot harder to actually live with someone and learn to deal with them. And I wouldn't be judging till you actually do it. Dumping their 2-bedroom fuck shack on Linkara, who literally can't afford to live alone there. Wow, I can afford to live alone. So wherever Linkara is living, it must be far more ridiculously priced than where I'm living. Please stop using ad block, guys, and this is one of Linkara's most infamous things. This is the thing that people make fun of him for a lot, besides the Power Rangers review, and that's why I'm calling this degeneracy and desperation, because of this. Last Thursday, which, no, it is not last Thursday, it is years ago now, Linkara made a video asking everyone to stop using adblock. The best thing to happen to the internet since Encyclopedia Dramatica, and I use adblock too, but for YouTube in particular, I actually have the YouTube Premium, so I don't fuck over YouTubers. For most sites, I just use adblock though, but for YouTube, I at least help people out. Encyclopedia Dramatica. His reasons for this were allegedly because the 5 people still watching his shit were denying him of his... Okay, I don't want to get demonetized. His, what's a nice way to say that? His oy vey gold by using this software, and apparently reading comics out loud is what Linkara calls his job. Needless to say, the vid in question was full of lulz, blatant greed, and butthurt. Which, by the way, this is one of my favorite Linkara videos. It's fucking hilarious. Also reveals that he's fine with cheating the ad companies out of their money and other internet reviewers out of their views, so long as he gets his money. Which is really fucked, and it's a slippery slope. You can actually get in trouble if you try too many of those tricks on YouTube. You shouldn't be doing any of that. Here are some quotes. I want to look at these quotes. As such, let's talk about why the ads are there, and why I need you guys to see the ads. Appropriately titled video. This is my day job, and I have no other job. Well, then it's just your job, not your day job. Except for producing these videos. This is how I pay my bills. I can't judge a hustle, but... God. It would take me too much time for me to produce the videos and work a 9 to 5. I just couldn't do it. I mean, I can't judge you on that either, really. It is difficult to fucking edit videos. It's fucking annoying. I'm not going to ask you to completely remove the ad blockers. I get why people use them. However, most ad blockers have the option to whitelist the site. See, that's the thing though, Linkara. People don't want to watch ads on YouTube. And unfortunately, this happened before YouTube Premium. Nowadays, you can just get YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium will prevent you from watching ads, but people will still get paid for you watching their videos. So it's a better way of ad block for YouTube in particular. And I wouldn't recommend you to get it unless you really want to. I don't mind paying the fee myself. However, there are ways around that. One, you can just mute the ad for 30 seconds. That's still 30 seconds of your life gone. That's still a lot of time to commit to literally nothing, Linkara. That's not good. Check your email and other no, that's fucking stupid. Some people have told me that they do not wish to support a product that they don't feel is worth their time sitting through advertisement for it. In other words, they didn't like the video. Wow. I think people can like your video but not want to be shilled to. There are actually now browser extensions that allows YouTubers to have their ad placement skipped. Like, a lot of people are taking sponsorships now, and you'll hear someone go, and if you want to play Raid Shadow Legends, there's actually a fucking add-on for Chrome now that'll let you just skip those automatically because people fucking hate this shit. They come to YouTube for content. They don't come to YouTube for television. If we wanted to be fucking told to buy shit, we'd just watch TV. I can totally understand why people would want to avoid advertisements. And just because they don't care about a fucking Coca-Cola ad doesn't mean that they hate your video, Linkara. But that's basically saying that you have no respect for me or my efforts to entertain you. Fuck off. And until such a time that it changes, this is how the system works for now. And punishing me for it seems a tad unfair. That's life. If you're having problems seeing ads on mobile devices, I highly encourage you to contact Blip and let them know. So, you just want people to watch it that bad to where you want them to reach out to people so they can get you your money. That's fucking ridiculous. If ads aren't working and you blame Blip for it, then fuck Blip. And failing all of that, if you still wish to use ad block, or just unable to see advertisements, there are other ways of supporting the show. However, enough people have asked to directly donate money to me, fine, I'm giving in. And there's a whole bunch of other quotes here. They are just more quotes about the fucking video. But yeah, I'm done looking at the fucking, at the stupid quotes. If you haven't downloaded and installed AdBlock yet, be sure to do so. Yet again, I say do what you have to do. If you want to use AdBlock, use AdBlock. For me personally, I use YouTube Premium. It's really cheap. Not only does it prevent ads on one version of YouTube, it gets rid of ads on all versions of YouTube. You're able to watch videos offline. You are able to minimize videos on your mobile phone. You are able to do so much more with that than you would get from an ad blocker. And if it wasn't for YouTube Premium existing, then yeah, I'd say ad block for sure. But I think you should always have an ad blocker. It's just if you have YouTube Premium, whitelist YouTube. Aside from protecting you from all the repetitive ads and pop-ups, it also makes greedy bitches like Linkara and his fanboys squeal and provide us more delicious lulz. Adblock is also confirmed to piss off Darkside Phil, the amazing atheist. I don't know who the fuck that other guy is, which makes it awesome by default. Just make sure you whitelist ED though. Wow. I can't blame the hustle though. Closet case exposed. And you see this amazing quote here. I'm a nasty cock slut. Good job, Linkara. That's your legacy now. For years, there has been skepticism surrounding Linkara's alleged heterosexuality. But as of 2015, came around the evidence needed to prove that he was lying about it suddenly surfaced. Lord Cat, an ex-thatguywiththeglasses.com contributor, managed to get Iron Liz to appear in his stream, where she revealed that she used to be a man, to no one's surprise. However, Liz also explained that she was still pre-op, transsexual, when they were dating, which means that they had a dick. And Linkara had been aware of it since their second date. And if that wasn't enough, Liz also believed that Linkara was gay. Linkara's response, Liz has always been a woman. The fact that she had a man's body doesn't matter. I'm straight. Now, normally I'd be like, good for you. That's a very progressive mindset. But it seems like he's only doing that to to verify his own heterosexuality. He doesn't actually care about what Liz represents as. Never mind the fact that Iron Liz referred to her past self as a man. She doesn't understand herself like Linkara does, apparently. But fine. Maybe Linkara is so brainwashed that he refuses to acknowledge the existence of pre-op transsexual's dick. It's not like that hasn't happened before, right? Well, there's more. In February 2015, a search for some old Linkara video by an anonymous, whatever that thing is, I don't fucking know, FA/TV/IRGIN, led to the discovery that Linkara had made hundreds of posts on a she-male porn forum from 2005 to 2006 under the names Psy Weedle, which is a Pokemon reference, and Ryusu. I fucked that up either way it goes. The latter, which is Lewis's attempt at pronouncing his name like a moon person, is also the username that Linkara goes by on his YouTube account, a name that he had apparently tried on numerous occasions before to change, if the screen caps of him asking his fanbase to help his Tumblr are anything to go by. Further, damning poor old Linky Poos. Why didn't he just delete it then? I mean, I guess it's his YouTube account, but still, it seems like there should be some way to change it. Was that both of these profiles bore an advertisement for his old Lightbringer comic in his signature. Wow, you might as well just hop in the noose at that point, because you already made it, you already tied the knot. You might as well just go all the way. You made sure that there was no deniability on that one. It was on these forums that Linkara freely admitted a love for big tits, she-males, and cock in general. It was not long before dozens of shameful posts had been dug up. Screenshots of his profile were spread all around. And there is no doubt that Linkara was even more of a degenerate than most people expected. No brainwashing here, just a huge pervert. And we got some quotes here. I'll click through 3 and then we'll be done for now. Like I said, there are other screenshots that I really want to show you, but it's gonna have to wait because it has a lot of porn in it. Writing these video game sci-fi, pretty much it. Yeah, I'm a geek. Oh, I love big breasts and big cocks, especially together on a she-male herm. Very good, Linkara. Enters the room, sits down in a nearby chair. Well, I'm by, and I'll wait to either give or receive. Grumbles. I leave for a day, and I miss a guy who wants to be sucked. Ah, well, I'm available for sucking or being sucked at the moment. So those are all Linkara quotes. There are probably more good ones, but I'll probably end up reading them when I look at all those screenshots, which I do plan on doing. I do plan on looking at those screenshots. And that was all of Linkara. That was the whole Linkara story for now. I have other screenshots I want to look at. I have other stories I want to read. I have fan fictions that he wrote, or erotica fictions that he wrote. I have all of his Lightbringer comic. I have more comics of his that I want to read. There's so much more to dig into. This is only the second layer of the Linkara iceberg.
Lately, many people have been using ad blockers that prevent them from seeing the advertisements in blip videos, including my own. Furthermore, those of you who use ad blockers may have seen this message pop up, making you wait 90 seconds for our content to begin. And furthermore, several people are upset about this. As such, let's talk for a second about why the ads are there and why I need you guys to see the ads. Here's the thing. Atop the fourth wall, history of Power Rangers, all the videos I produce, this is my day job. I have no other job except for producing the videos. This is how I pay my bills. This is not a hobby for me. It would take too much time for me to produce the videos and work a 9 to 5. I just couldn't do it. Now, that's not the same case for all producers on Channel Awesome, but it is the case for several of us. And the companies that sell advertising can tell when people use ad blockers. As such, when it happens, it's counted as the ad not being seen and thus money is lost. I'm not going to ask you to completely remove the ad blockers. I get why people use them. However, most ad blockers have the option to whitelist the site. If you don't know what whitelisting is, and I know that there are people who don't, many have asked me on Twitter about it, that means you let specific sites have ads on them while still blocking everything else. Now, I also know some people have responses to that. Some people say they've tried to disable the ads for Blip, but the ads somehow freeze the video or cause everything to crash. That's fine. I understand that. You are the exception. However, I would encourage you to try to hunt down the problem, update your drivers, and etc., because that really shouldn't be happening. I know that the ads can be repetitive. Part of the problem is that a lot of companies don't trust online advertising. Partially because of ad blocks.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are continuing the social media lunacy on Linkara. Last time we covered Linkara's degeneracy. Today we are going to be covering more of that. Last time I didn't cover any of Linkara's social media posts because there was a lot of porn in it. So I decided to not do that because these are on porn forums. I've actually edited them all together, made a really long scrolling screenshot so I can read through it all, and hopefully I remembered to edit out all the porn, which I'm pretty sure I did. So let's take a look at the post Linkara was making on forums. Very degenerate post. So we see that this says, there is 7,000 messages from Linkara. Almost 1.58 average messages per day. Dear God. Real name, Lewis. Yes, he put his real name on this. Status, Lulu's giggly jugs. Bruce Campbell wannabe. Contest committee. Girls play toy. Nice guy. So, Linkara is a self-admitted nice guy. That is something we've already learned immediately. His avatar looks nothing like him, even for 2009 standards, which that was the last time he was on. And we see his email there. I'm going to ignore that email, but it's not doxing because he had it public himself. Gender, male. Location, hypertime. Published author, I mean, debatably true. Master of Web Dimensions, writer of Angel Armor novel series, author and artist of the Lightbringer comic. Play toy of girls here. So, yeah, this is definitely really Linkara. Date of birth, well, now we know how old Linkara is. Biography, male, age 18 to 22, weight average, height average. I disagree on both of those, even for back then. Orientation, no answer. Interested in, no answer. He's nothing. He doesn't want anything, apparently. Status, no answer. Wow, you're fucking boring. Smoke, no. Drink, no. Fetishes, big tits. Hermaphrodites, big cocks, sometimes. Pets, none. Wow. Member since 2005. He says that he's 6 foot tall, skinny Caucasian, anything else. He is not 6 foot tall. Has anyone seen Linkara? Has anyone fucking seen Linkara? I disagree. I disagree immensely. I have seen people be taller than Linkara. There is no way he is 6 foot tall. Like, he should have gone for something more believable. Like, maybe like 5'10". Maybe then I would have been like, oh yeah, checks out to me. And these are some of the stories that Linkara liked. It says, this page shows a list of stories, poems, and authors that this member enjoys. So let's see what Linkara enjoys. Evil in the Flesh. Dry Writer, Brittany. Okay, this is just boring shit. I want the weird shit. Here we go. Myron. Geriatric alpha male seduces straight father of 2. Yay, gay fan fiction. Be careful what you wish for. And I winked at the camera, you just can't fucking see it. Witch summons a lust demon, then loses control of him. A bachelor party. Orc Masters Chapter 3. That's a hell of a title. The entertainment at the party has something extra. Elf Night Pleasure. undead, while Trog wages war on Alliance, not the Alliance, just Alliance, transsexual brothel. Lots of girls with cocks. Well, that one gets straight to the fucking point. There's nothing even to be sassy about. There's nothing to be, there's no innuendos to be had. It's just straight to the fucking point. Hermaphrodite. A surprise awaits a bartender. Oliver's balls. Oh, that leads to his first bi-dom experience. Nero submission transmitter. He controls his sister, mother, neighbor, and a stranger. Oh no. Stepbrother, what are you doing? Your package has arrived, chapter 2. How did you get past chapter 1 with that premise? UPS man returns with a buddy. Oh wow, I didn't think that needed a sequel, but okay. Twisted. Dallas and Eve put on a live performance at a ladyboy bar. Working at home, chapter 2. Meeting a woman who has everything. Wow, that one's boring. The Dream Gentleman's Club, chapter 2. A black man has an interesting experience. He hadn't realized what sort of job his son had found. Yes, I'm leaving all this up to your imagination. It can be as wholesome or as terrifying as you want it to be. You could have just found that he's an accountant now, and that he's doing great numbers work. Colors of Lust, chapter 1. A new machine opens a door to any type of sex he feels like. That one sounds kind of boring. How I honor those who serve. Veterans find a cute butt boy to reenact good times. Mama's Cock, chapter 8. 18-year-old Wesley finally begins to please his busty mother. Stranger. Yes, there's a lot of incest fiction here, shockingly. Stranger. White man meets and fuck black stranger. The neighbor lady. Young man meets friendly MILF neighbor. Ian's A+. A student gets punished for getting his gym strip. Oh, for forgetting his gym strip. Okay, I guess that's how he got his A+. Aliens use sex to invade humans, chapter 3. Slut's first time. So that one gets straight to the point with the fucking title. Aliens continue to populate using humans as sex objects. Bi-curious male meets mystery man. Oh, are those two separate stories that they're just linked to each other? Yeah. Why are they linked to each other? Could you not separate them? Salacious Sarah. She/he seduces husband, then wife, to bask in the breastford. Chapter 1. He stumbles on a hidden community of buxom beauties. Garnet's abuse. Her cock makes Jin submit. I'm gonna assume we're not talking about Steven Universe. Stiff sentence for a young man. Sentenced to a night with an imprisoned giantess. I think there's a Futurama episode about that, if I'm not mistaken. Now we're getting to some of Linkara's direct post. This is where it gets juicy. This is where we get to read the fucked up shit that I should never have to read, but I'll read it for you guys, for you fine people. Oh yeah? I'm a nasty cockslut, Jenny. I can apply as I wish, winky face. He licks up the big, juicy, she-male dick. More like it, please. He's begging for it, guys. Just let him do it. This is Linkara responding to a San Francisco guy who wants his first gay coupling. He responds, me? I'm one of the people who thinks that homosexuality is a choice. So Linkara thinks that being gay is an option. It's like a fucking light switch. You can flick it whenever you want to. So when Linkara says that he's not gay, he can flick that switch and become gay really fucking fast. Maybe not an easy choice, or an instant one. I didn't know Linkara was fucking based. But based on the free will of the person, or through just the personal loves of one person's heart, as opposed to someone else's. In any case, I don't believe in denominations of the church. So, as such, I only say that I'm Christian. My Christianity says that God gave us free will for pretty much everything except a few No, that is not Christianity. No. I'm not gonna get into a fucking talk about my fucking religion. I'm not gonna get into a talk about how so many fucking people grew up and weren't forced to go to church. They weren't forced to fucking learn about their religion. They weren't forced to actually fucking read the Bible. Like, you don't know shit about Christianity, and you shouldn't call yourself a Christian if you don't know your own fucking faith. Jesus was our Lord and Savior. He doesn't give a rat's ass about homosexuality. That's good for you. I'm glad you know fucking Jesus. I agree with you, but I'm glad that you know Jesus. And there's nothing in life that we can do. And there's nothing we... wait, did he really structure... Yes, he did. And that's nothing else in life that we can do in life that will get us into heaven. I mean, technically you should be able to get into heaven because of the whole Jesus thing, but okay, if you want to believe that. I believe you might think that, but you have good reasons to think that. Response to, is Satan aka the devil for real? I imagine burning. What the fuck? I imagine burning in the stand-ins of hell. I raped a mass, slaughtered dozens of women, and laughed about it. Linkara, what the fuck is wrong with you and rape? I had to fucking take a breather on that one. I looked ahead for a second. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Linkara? Why do you keep fantasizing about rape? Are you a hentai? You're right. I am sorry. You may continue punishing me with spanks. Who's a bigger pervert? Well, I'd like to announce how happy I am that so few people have called me a pervert in this thread. Weird fucking smiley. The thing is, although I do act hentai-ish, which I am taking that word, that is now my word, and I will use it when I please. And I'm not reading that other part. A lot, if not most of the time, I completely hate being labeled as a pervert. Well, then why act like a fucking degenerate publicly? And almost left the forum after someone called me it on the board. So Linkara's a giant fucking crybaby. Linkara, what the fuck? If you're gonna say that you want hermaphrodite cock, then you have to accept that someone's gonna call you weird. That's just life, Linkara. That's just how things go. You gotta accept it. Size stripping circus. If we do a team thing, don't expect me to be doing anything with him. I'm afraid me am not bi or gay. That was what Linkara said. And then this guy said raffle, which it's been a long time since I've heard that. I love homophobes and sides. I don't do stuff in threads. I do them in real life. I was a former sex slave. I think some of you know. Linkara responds, I am not a homophobe. I'm just not gay. And then he also says this. He grins and licks his lips. Does that mean you want me to push aside those panties and suck on your meat? That's definitely not something a gay guy would say. You're right, Linkara. Aw, that lucky bastard gets 2 she-male cocks at once. I'm just not gay. Ooh, that's a good mixture there. Thank you, ED. Giggles and winks at Butter, sitting up on his legs, bulge quite apparent, in the middle of his leather pants. He puts on a fake pouty face, bringing his hand up to his mouth and biting his fingernail in a faux innocent look. Oh, I don't know. Leans in and plants a kiss on Butter's forehead and leans back, lying on his back and extending his legs straight up. His hands slide his leather pants off. You don't slide leather pants off, Linkara. If you've ever fucking wore leather pants, they are not that easy to fucking take off. As he tosses his sandals to the side, he remains in the laying position, wiggling his rear against the stage ground as he lets the leather pants fall. Wow, I guess I was too quick to judge because it seems like it took forever for those fucking pants to come off. Wherever they will. Clad now only in a black leather thong. So he wears leather pants and a leather thong. He's got no dick at this point. Like, that had to fucking grind you flat. I still don't know, Butter. Who names our kid Butter? It seems like you got your own stripping going on now. Going to end with just a tease of what's to come, since my core audience seems to be you, Butter. He smiles and gets up, proceeding over to the golden pole. He grinds his ass against it, his erection quite visible, and poking out from behind his leather thong, which would be very uncomfortable, Linkara. As he presses his rear against the pole, he bends over slightly, licking his hand and sliding it inside his thong, stroking his meat to the crowd. After a minute or so of stroking, he slides back up, turns around, gives his own ass a slap, and promptly walks off the stage. This is better than any of the stuff that Marvel or DC puts out. Response to just sex with an exclamation mark. I wanted to be turned into a cat boy. I'm so cute. Thank you, Linkara. Very important information. I'm learning so much. Who do you want to fuck right now? A hermaphroditic power girl. Thank you. Thank you, Linkara. I'm learning so much. But that's a fairly obvious answer, considering what my only story is about. I guess we're going to read that story eventually. Enters the room, sits down in a nearby chair. Well, I'm by, and I'll wait my turn to either give or receive. But I thought he wasn't gay earlier. Post your damn beauty contest pics or die. And then he responds with, actually, Oni-chan? Pulls himself out of a book titled Bylaws Concerning MediaMinor.org. I'm hoping that's not the minor I'm thinking about. Marriage policies, wearing librarian glasses. According to Article 10 of bylaws, a kitty slave is allowed to marry as many partners as she desires, as long as she continues to serve and please each person she marries. So in fact, you're not really cheating on Rennie-chan. Now everyone, stop worrying about Oni-chan's pics, or, to quote Eric Cartman, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. So, I have no idea what went on there. I have no idea what the fuck I just read. I feel like it might be illegal in some states. I feel like I'm greatly disturbed by that. I love it when they hide it by having it small when limp, then huge when hard. I mean, you're not really hiding it. You can't control how your dick works, Linkara, but I'm glad that you get off to that. Yay, vindication for me, having what I consider a small cock, 6 inches. So, he considers his dick small, and he says it's 6 inches. That's probably baiting to try to get a bunch of people to say, oh my god, no, Linkara, that's average. That's pretty normal, Linkara. Which, yes, that is pretty fucking normal. That's a normal fucking length. Anything below 6 is small. So, Linkara, quit baiting. Quit baiting. Quit trying to get compliments. Is pathetic. Yeah, penis envy can strike me sometimes when I hear about women loving large dicks. I mean, most women that I've talked to wouldn't want a dick that's too big because they don't want to be fucking stretched to oblivion. But knowing the women you talk to, Linkara, I'm not shocked that you're saying that. And it's nice to know not every woman likes that. No, not every woman likes to be fucking obliterated, Linkara. As hard as it is to believe I'm a virgin, well, you got me shocked. I can't believe this revelation, Linkara. It's mostly because I don't feel sex is good for anyone under 15. Were you under 15? Which I am now. Okay, guys. We're gonna be real for a second. Don't go on adult websites if you're under 18. All of this makes so much more sense now since I know that he's 14, if he's not shitting me. He could be lying. He could be lying there. Who knows? I don't know. I'd have to add up his age on the fucking thing. Let me see. Let me see if he's fucking bullshitting me. 2003 minus... Yeah. No, he's not shitting. He is a minor posting this shit. Okay, everyone has their phase where they discover who they are sexually. be sure that you're not on a adult forum talking to grown men about it. It's okay to be bi-curious. It's okay to be wondering who you are or what orientation you are. But you don't know everything at that age, and you shouldn't be posting on websites like this. Not only will this be embarrassing years later when you inevitably forget the password and people read it and connect it to you, I feel so bad for him now, but I'm still gonna make fun of him. Which I am now. But I'm going to start humping anything that moves now that I am, especially with STDs and teen pregnancy. Nah, I'll probably wait a while. And we're gonna look at the best thing. This is the thing we all waited for. God's light is shining down on us, and I have been prepared to share this with you guys. I was going to show you directly the porn and censor it, but I couldn't actually find it. And I got tired of scrolling through Linkara's likes section, but just know it was there at one point. Things Linkara jerked off to: corpses, which can still be found on his account, feet, incest, Muppets, that's not on his account anymore, he probably nuked it somehow, gay gangbangs, strap-on beta shit, dick girls, tons of rape, I can confirm all of those except for the Muppets, and the green M&M. Now I know the green M&M was there. At one point the green M&M was on his fucking account. I went on his account when Mr. Medicare was making fun of him, and I can confirm that he did jack off to the green M&M. But now if you go to his account, either he's liked so much more shit that it's impossible to find the green M&M and the Muppets, or there was just already so much shit on there and these guys literally went through over 50 pages of fucking hentai to find the green M&M and Muppets. So I'm not going to do that. But if you mix all of these together, that's a hell of a fucking fan fiction you could write. Fucking gay Muppet, gay dead Muppet gangbang with the M&M and the M&M's brother when they strap on with hermaphrodites and someone's getting raped. Like that could be a hell of a story if you mix that all together. If you write that story, Linkara is going to explode. Someone responds, source please? Wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Feast your eyes, not safe for work, obviously, or anything for that matter. And you won't be able to find it anymore. I looked throughout all of it. He is into every fucking cartoon that exists. He looks at porn and favorites porn of literally any cartoon. Doesn't matter if they're underage. Doesn't matter how underage they are. He's into weird shit. And he continues to like weird shit. But the most cringy shit is gone. It's mostly weird, gross, degenerate shit now. So yeah, that was a deep dive into Linkara's degeneracy. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be talking about Linkara again. This is Social Media Lunacy. I just recently uploaded a compilation, which was the entirety of Linkara's ED thread. That was not the end of me covering Linkara. Maybe it's just poor titling on my end. I still have a lot of stuff to talk about with Linkara, and today we're going to be talking about something that happened very recently. That being how Linkara reacted to someone making a parody of him. Now, for those of you guys who don't know Oni Plays is like Game Grumps. They play video games, there's a revolving cast of people, and they say random things. While Oni Plays mentioned Linkara a lot, they mentioned Christian a lot, and I thought it'd be fun to look at how Linkara handles the criticism that they throw at him and make fun of him, and how Christian handles what they make fun of him about. So first we're going to be watching an animation from the user DongFFTK, very good username. And I will have all the videos listed in the description when this is finally uploaded. And we will watch another animation made by Wall Derp. They will also be in the description when this becomes a full upload. So let's take a look at this animation first about Linkara. It should be loud enough for all you guys to hear, but if it isn't, I'll fix it in post, so just be sure to comment you can't hear it or something.
I have to say I loved Linkara, right? I was watching various places and I saw Linkara, the great Linkara, he did. I topped the fourth wall, and he talked about the famous Power Rangers rant, right? He said it'll be out when it's out, and we like that. It'll be out when it's out. But great work ethic. It was so good when Iron Liz was there, the great Iron Liz, right?
So we start with Donald Trump here, and Donald Trump is praising Linkara. He calls him the great Linkara. He calls Iron Liz the great Iron Liz, which is why you'll see a lot of people still calling Iron Liz that. It's very lighthearted. The only jab is at the famous Power Rangers rant. And even then, he doesn't really hone in on it. All he says is, it'll be out when it's out. So that's not even that big of a jab at him. So far, it's just lighthearted fun with Donald Trump talking about Linkara. There's really nothing here to be offended by.
It's okay.
Don't you talk about me, you son of a bitch.
Who said that? What is that?
It's
What
me,
is that?
the Lightbringer.
Now, this is the part that he seems to get really mad about later, and you'll see his reaction in a second. The fact that he does this silly voice, and he calls himself the Lightbringer. If you guys haven't been watching my videos on Linkara, Lightbringer is a comic that Linkara made. And Linkara is so sensitive about it that if you refer to him as the Lightbringer, he gets upset because he is deeply ashamed of the comic book that he made. And it's really sad that this is how he chooses to vent his frustration, by being upset when even someone calls him by the name of his own comic book. But yeah, this is just more lighthearted fun.
Look, there he is. There he is. Get him out of here. Get him the hell out of here. Then cuts to the audience beating the shit out of him. Fucking ripping his jacket up. Throw him out in the cold. Don't give him his jacket. Don't give him...
See, that's the only part that I'd be okay, and I would understand with him getting slightly offended. The fact that he gets the shit beat out of him, and then he gets his jacket stolen. Like, if he said, I don't like that he said Donald Trump would have me beat up, then I could semi-understand that. It's still a parody, it's still for fun, but I could get if he was upset that he got beat up. But that's not why he was upset.
Meanwhile, Doug Walker's just looking on going...
He's going, build that wall!
I don't think he'd say that.
So that was the whole Oni Plays animation. You can see that it was just a joke. It wasn't even that bad. Like, it didn't bring up any of his degenerate shit. It didn't bring up any of the real deep dark shit that we talked about. It didn't bring up him being a nasty cockslut. It was very light-hearted stuff. Well, let's see how Linkara reacted to this. Let's see how Linkara felt about that parody being made.
Obviously. Chocolate Gamer, my question was, have you sent the one play or one play fan made game? Yeah,
no, because I have zero desire to ever think about or talk about Oni Plays.
So he's immediately hateful towards Oni Plays. Despite not saying anything really too fucked up, despite himself saying that he hasn't watched it, which he's probably lying. He probably has watched it numerous times, and he is deeply upset by it. But instead of just acknowledging it and then saying, it was alright, or oh, it's funny, he decides to be spiteful towards it.
I don't even know what that is.
They are a YouTuber who is the one who constantly mocks me, makes fun of me, and apparently they do an impression of me that everyone loves. Everyone has to point out, wow, his impression of you is so accurate.
So he makes it clear already that he is upset by them talking about him. He thinks that they are bullies and that they are people bullying him, and that he is upset that they would impersonate him. Already opening it up to everyone that you are really fucking sensitive and can't handle when someone pokes fun at you.
And he's the one who popularized people calling me the Lightbringer.
And now you've opened up a whole new avenue for trolls to fuck with you by acknowledging that you don't like being called the Lightbringer. So now people are going to continue to call you the Lightbringer, and you will never escape it. People will always bring this thing up because you couldn't just leave it be. And for those of you guys who don't know, I'm reviewing Lightbringer, so if you want to know why it's bad to be called the Lightbringer, go check out that review. More episodes will be up soon.
Based off of my crappy old webcomic. So,
wow.
Screw him.
Yeah, no.
Not cool. Yo, Mike.
Also, despite their comments being positive and very lighthearted, fun jabs, Linkara says screw him very seriously and offended.
Perfusion cells.
And apparently he was trying to play that video game that I don't care about. Now we are going to switch over to this Chris Chan animation about the same length. It's about the same tone. So let's see how they talked about Chris Chan.
Only play with friends.
What was the Japanese joke we made before we went to get sushi?
What Japanese joke?
I made a Japanese accent getting off the elevator.
Oh yeah, what did you say? It was really funny, but I didn't want to say it because we were in public.
I forget.
Was someone getting yelled at by a Japanese... Oh, it was Chris Chan if he was working a sushi place.
You want your sushi?
Because he said, I'm working on it!
And he goes, let me tell you.
If the head of the department...
know what you are putting in our sushi.
You cannot pepper spray the customers, Christian.
You cannot pepper...
So they bring up one of the infamous things with Chris Chan, that being that he maced a GameStop employee. Now, this is something very tragic and very fucked up that happened with Chris Chan's life. He ended up dealing with a lot of legal stuff. He got banned from that place. He was very upset by all this. This is something a lot darker than they brought up about Linkara. So it'll be interesting to see how Chris Chan reacts in bringing up something that caused him a lot of harm later on.
Pepper spray the sushi. It does not
They
taste
could
good.
condemn our restaurant.
It's not real pepper.
And we would have to move out of it.
He was looking
Why call it pepper spray if it's not pepper?
He would. He fucking would.
You chop the sushi, you unchop the sushi.
I thought you were really Japanese.
Japanese?
Because your name is Christian.
Christian, I get it.
Now I see you are
Christian.
just Chris bad. Oh, there's a snot in my nose. Ow.
Pick it out.
Why is the only Japanese accent is you do an old man?
So that was the other animation. Let's see how Chris Chan reacts to this, despite it being a lot more cynical and a lot harsher than the Linkara remarks.
Oh man, he made me laugh. They made me laugh. Why would I call it pepper spray if it's not pepper? There you go. You got one eye on me. I like that joke. Why would I call it pepper spray if it's not pepper?
So, as you guys can see, Chris Chan handled this 1,000 times better than Linkara did. Chris Chan is just as bad as Linkara, if not worse, usually. But for some reason, this time, this rare instance, Chris Chan realized that something was a joke and that he could laugh with it. And then also be seen in a positive light for being able to laugh with it. Meanwhile, Linkara got butthurt and acted like they were attacking him and that they were bullying him. So this is one of the rare instances where Chris Chan is the Chad, and now Linkara is the virgin. And if you're sad enough to make Chris Chan look like a Chad, that's a new level of pathetic. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be looking over this Linkara document made by the user Kinky Linky. Now, some things have been left out, and because I've been a fan of Linkara for so long, I can actually clarify the few things that were left out. I will do that when I need to. I'm not insulting Kinky Linky or his abilities to document Linkara. We all make mistakes, and I feel like that when something is omitted, I need to point it out just as constructive criticism. I know a lot of people get mad when I do that with the quickie articles, so I just wanted to point it out here ahead of time, like I should in those situations. It's not to be mean, it's solely to inform the audience on things that wouldn't be given to them if I didn't tell them. So, let's see what is going on here. Today we are going to be covering the parts of the document from the year 2000 to 2009. I feel like because this document is so short, it is good enough for me to cover a whole decade for one video. So let's get into this. Primer. Louis the Lovehog has multiple online identities. that have been used in the past. Linkara, Psyweedle, and Ryuzu, which I'm hoping I'm saying that right. All have been used with numbers after the names occasionally. That's the way of the old internet. Like 19. In the timeline, you will see a trend of behavior that is hard to describe. 2003. At the age of 14, Lewis wrote his first Angel Armor books, which is something I'm probably never really going to get a chance to touch on, so it's good that it's talked about here. I am not going to read entire Linkara novels. I do not want to do that. If someone ends up writing a detailed description of what happens in each novel, I guess I'll do that, but I'm not going to read these books. His parents, for reasons that are unknown, helped him publish these books without glancing over them, and even passed them around to his classmates and had them issued in his high school library. See, I wish I had parents with resources like that. Unlike Linkara, I make a decent comic, and I would like that comic to be distributed. But I also don't want to lose the rights to said comic in the attempts to get it distributed. So I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait till I find the right person to approach on that. I wish I had connections like Linkara, though. These books are still available, and he sells them on Amazon. Wow, that's a shock. I guess he doesn't mind for the 2 pennies he'll make selling those books still in the modern day. All 4 books of the series have been leaked on Kiwi Farms. Okay, I guess if you want to read it, go to Kiwi Farms. They're already documented. A Kiwi farmer did a step-by-step breakdown of the first book here. I might do a whole video on that step-by-step breakdown. I'm interested in that. In high school, Lewis passed copies of this book to his classmates, and even had the librarian stock copies of this book in the school library. The books are about a 14-year-old Christian optimist. Wow. I've never heard of anyone like that. That is such a new concept. It definitely isn't a self-insert. Lewis Williamson. Williamson? Is that a common last name? I've never heard Williamson. I've heard of Williams, but I've never heard of Williamson. Or Goldstein. Oh no. Don't give me that name. Don't give me the name Goldstein. You're setting me up for too many jokes that'll get me banned from YouTube, depending on which draft of the book / publisher is used. So that's already red flag number 1. You should have the name of your character decided before you make the fucking story. That is not something that should change in between printings. Who is transported into a fantasy world called Sin. Wow. Very on the nose with that one. And became an angelic prophetic messiah called the Linkara. Wow, I've never heard that name before. Linkara? Who's that? I'm sure Lewis will be able to tell me. I just don't know which Lewis to ask. These books are the origin of the name Linkara for Lewis. Well, he spells his name different, so it's obviously not him. If it was a self-insert, he would spell his name the same way. That's the rule of it. In the books, Lewis meets a cat girl. We're back on the cat girls again. Priestess of the Linkaran. Is that a word? What the fuck? Religion. Oh, so he has a whole fucking religion named after him. No wonder why this is the world of fucking sin. Endow, and that was raised to worship the Linkara that becomes his girlfriend. I have a feeling this is ripping off a fucking show. I swear to God, I seen a show like this in the early 2000s. I don't remember the name of it. It's like on the tip of my fucking tongue. I'm not even doing this as a gag or a joke. There's like a show. I just can't remember. It's a medieval fantasy show where like there's this chosen one guy and everyone fucking likes him. I can't remember the name of it. Here are some choice excerpts from his first book. Oh yeah, I get to read this fucking cringe. Lewis rolled his eyes. Oh, come on, Endow. Is that actually her name? I thought we were doing something else, but okay. Don't tell me that you've caught that whole purity equals heaven bullshit, have you? Oh wow, these characters really sound interesting. The concept of Linkaran priestess engaging in activities like sex. Of course, it had to be sex. Immediately, Lewis. Immediately sex. Why? Has to be approved by the head of the church. Yes, because the local priest would definitely deem who can fuck. That sounds right. and it's strictly regulated between priestesses and priests. Yes, because that is definitely what happens in churches. Lewis stood up and rolled his eyes once more. Oh, that's gotta be the biggest load of shit I've ever heard, because you want to fuck the cat girl. You seriously don't think I, your religious savior, is really going to be so strict to take away a basic freedom? I love that he fights for the right to fuck. Thank you, Linkara. You're fighting for the right to be a whore. It is what we are always taught. This prior sentence where Endao is kidnapped and brutally raped. What? This is... Why? Why, Linkara? Why? Why do you keep having your women characters raped? Why? What is up with you and rape? Can I go through one of your series without a female character getting raped? Because right now, I can proudly say there is not one series I write where a female character has been raped. I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. Endao could not have felt any worse at that moment. Not only had the 24 hours preceding Endao's conversion with Mira, I'm gonna say that's his name, Mira. There's 2 R's, so I'm deeply fucking confused how you say his name. Been the worst torture since she had been first captured, but she could now barely open her eyes. Even if she could, she wasn't entirely certain of everything she could see. Lack of food and water had begun to take its toll on the priestess, who was having a hard time forming coherent thought and focusing on any particular thing. Her body was littered with cuts and bruises. Somewhere, the bleeding was only now coming close to stopping. Both her vag and her anus, really, Lincoln, really, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're sore from being raped by Mira. Endao considered the rape to be the worst. What the fuck am I reading? What the fuck am I reading? Worst of any of the torture. It was the fact that it had happened that made her so upset. Yes, it would make me upset too. It'd make anyone upset. Getting raped is not pleasant. But of the look in Mira's eyes when she had done it. She had broken off the branches from a nearby tree. What the fuck? So not only is Mira not a guy, Mira is a fucking woman, and she raped someone with a fucking branch. She raped someone with a stick from nearby tree and used long narrow rocks within caves. She had been... Why am I reading this? Why am I reading this? Why am I reading this? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. No. This is too much. I'm done. I'm not going back to my Jesse Pajamas days where I have to read terrible, disgusting shit. If it gets too fucking detailed, I'm out. Luz de Linkara also runs around and kicks the Knights of Darkness in the balls. And what's that? The knight asked. This, Lewis shouted, and instantly Lewis drew up the strength in his leg and slammed his foot into the space between the knight's legs. Is this a fucking comedy? Is this a comedy with casual rape in it? In essence, he just kicked the knight in the crotch. Okay. So he's a guy who kicks people in the crotch rather than fighting them. They ran into a small band of orcs, but had been working as a team. Endao's magics, yes, spelled with a K, and Lewis's ability to kick things in the crotch had easily disposed. So his main character, despite having magical angel armor, despite having magical abilities and being called the literal Messiah, has the ability to kick people in the dick. Like, that's not an ability. I can do that. Anyone can do that. That's not an ability. Oh my god. In 2013, Lewis wrote a post where he addressed the angel armor and how he felt about it. Oh my god. As others have commented, fine, I'll do the voice. As others have commented, I am quite a bit embarrassed about them. Though the later ones less so, because I got older and better and less stupid. I guess I'm making it into a Zelda CDI character now. When you're young, you don't see the same flaws in your own work, and you're allowed opinionated, assume that anyone who disagrees with you is just stupid or naive. You still act like that. You still act like that, Linkar. Oh no, he's making me feel old. He wrote this when he was 25. I'm 25. Now I'm 25 and I realize that while I may have had some good ideas, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. The execution needed a lot more, and that's the other thing about being young. You're impatient. I am proud of the fact that I was patient enough to spend 10 months writing it, building documents with history about the world. Anyone can do world building. It's not complicated. I can come up with 8 different worlds in a week. It's not hard. Coming up with believable characters to live in said world and the characters having motivations that actually fucking relate with the readers is the hard part. Having the characters talk in a way that's believable is the hard part. World building is easy. And planning things out down the road. But this is not Tolkien. Don't compare yourself to Tolkien. Nor do I think it ever will be. Don't even mention it in the same fucking breath. I love talking with people about them because I don't feel like I wasted my time or anything. You should feel like you wasted your time because you're never bringing the series back and you're never gonna try to fix it. At least I rewrote my shitty comic book like that. But I am saddened by a lot of choices I made with it. At some point, I'd love to rewrite them. Do it. Do it. I'm gonna go full Shia LaBeouf on you. Just do it. Just do it. Make your dreams a reality. Do it. Fix them and re-release them. But who has time for that? I do. I'm doing it. If you really care about this project and you really fucking like the story and you don't feel like it was a waste of time, make the time and just do it. He doesn't disown them. He also finished the 4th book in the same year he wrote that post. So why was he still... You're still fucking writing the book. Why? You admit that it has so many flaws that you want to rewrite it. Why would you continue writing it? Reboot it. No one fucking cares. Just reboot the series. 2004. Yes, that was only 1 year, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Lewis turned 15. Wrote his 2nd book in the Angel Armor series, Cassandra Conflict. This book, like the first one, was passed in high school. Why is this being passed in a high school? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my high school books didn't involve brutal rape. That's just me. That's just me. Oh, I guess that's the only eventful thing that happened in 2004. You suck, Linkara. 2005. Lewis as a 16 to 17-year-old, and yes, I did cover this in a prior Linkara video. Go check those out if you want to see more about his sexual degeneracy. I did a 2-part fucking video series on his degeneracy alone. Lewis as a 16 to 17-year-old, against the forum rules and possibly against certain laws of man registered for a Literotica account under the name Ryusu, which is how Lewis assumes the Japanese person would pronounce the name Lewis. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I know people who speak Japanese that could. So if you're watching this video, comment down below and tell me if Lewis is a fucking weeaboo. This account is notable for cataloging his kinks, which we already went through. Check out that other video if you want to know more about it. He mistakenly categorizes himself as 6 foot tall, when anyone who met him would say he's 5'10". At that point, it's grasping straws. It's notable that his signature Lightbringer is plastered on it. Yes, that's what we need. The fucking Lightbringer icon. We need to know that it is Lewis, so when he tries to say that's not him, he can't. He can't fucking do it. 2006. Lewis at 17 starts his webcomic The Lightbringer, which we are doing a review of that as well. I already have 1 issue up and I'm going to be doing the issue 2 soon. Go check that out. And his imprint, he labels Steel Dragon Comics. And yes, that is still up. You can go check it out. It's going to be up forever. It's on a free website. He claims the art is by an artist sage. But he does this because he heard claiming to have an artist/writer team looks more professional. If you're doing that, you're already not professional. But he is the original artist. Despite what people think, the art is not MS Paint, but hand-drawn. And this is something I had to learn too, and I'm glad that it's put in this document. I did not realize that he actually drew this comic before putting it through MS Paint. So, it has less of an excuse to be shitty now. The Linkara from his Angel Armor book series later crosses over into Lightbringer. Yes, 2 OCs in 1. This is really starting to sound like Sonichu. It wasn't enough to just have Sonichu. You have to also have Chris-chan Sonichu, which is what the Linkara is. The Linkara from his Angel Armor book series crosses over into Lightbringer and has a team-up. It's more than just a team-up. He sticks around. He fucking sticks around the book for a bit. Lewis also writes a post where he talks about real fictional characters are while lusting for an underage character he made up. So, Redesign Hannah fan art weeks continues. This time we have a full body pic from, I can't read that name, it's a little small. It should be noted that in issue 4 we have a little crossover with dimension hopping. No characters, mind you, but it will be a crossover nonetheless. This pic features Hannah in much hotness. 2008. Lewis turns 18, then 19, writes the 3rd book in the Angel Armor series, Yesterday, which sounds really fucking pretentious and sounds like the 3rd CD to his fucking album, but whatever. And also starts his Atop the Fourth Wall series. So this is where I have to make a minor correction. I don't know at exactly what point it was, but before he started doing the Atop the Fourth Wall YouTube series, he did an Atop the Fourth Wall written series, and it was done as a blog. And a lot of people have found out that the Atop the Fourth Wall blog was actually just plagiarized from another comic book blog. So when Linkara started out as a reviewer, he was plagiarizing his reviews from people who actually knew stuff about comic books. And this is not new news, this is like really old shit. But Linkara plagiarized his old fucking reviews. And the reason why he ended up going into the video making scene is because Doug Walker was holding a contest for someone to join Channel Awesome. And he ended up auditioning for it, and he ended up getting the role. And when he auditioned for it, he did a parody of one of Doug's videos. And the parody is pretty shit, but I guess Doug saw enough potential in it to see him as worth hiring. And then after he was hired, that's when he started doing the Linkara comic review shit. So he started out as a blog that reviewed comic books that were plagiarized. He then switched over to trying to impress Doug Walker. Then when he was hired, he started doing the video reviews. So it's a bit more complex than just saying he starts doing Atop the Fourth Wall. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of context to everything that's going on here. He starts the series not calling himself Linkara, but that guy with the hat. See, exactly. So he was copying Doug, because Doug was that guy with the glasses. So it explains the fucking need for the fedora. He changes his online name to Linkara later on. In April of this year, Lewis begs 5 other webcomic creators to do a mega webcomic crossover called the Crossover Lord with him. Yes, that is an edgy fucking pretentious name. Enjoy it. After they get started on the Crossover Lord, Lewis bails because he starts the Atop the Fourth Wall without telling them. And that's a whole fucking video of them talking about the Crossover Lord. I might watch it one day. I don't know. And this is where we make our stop for now with 2009, because I'm going to be doing a whole separate video documenting the 2010s era. So if you guys want to know more about the 2010s era, stay tuned for that. I am very eager to tell you about all of that. So let's finish this off with 2009. Lewis writes the original villain, White Death, in his webcomic Lightbringer, an actress who is brutally raped. Linkara, why don't you take a seat? Why don't you fucking take a seat? We're gonna talk about why you're so obsessed with rape. On stage during a play, and no one stops it because they think it's part of the show. Yes, brutal sex is what happens during plays. That's always been a part of it. It's speculated by his high school friends that know Lewis that he got this idea from watching Perfect Blue, but this plot closely mirrors an episode of Law & Order, SVU. Wow, so Linkara ripping shit off again. Never would have thought that before. Lewis shares the origins with girlwonder.org and gets lambasted for it. He says this turned him into a feminist. That's what did it? You didn't do it because you actually believe in it. You didn't do it because you saw the error of your ways. You just did it because a woman yelled at you. Okay, nothing wrong with that. He shares this and outs himself as a college stalker of a girl in college on his Lightbringer blog when the girl in question confronts him in the comments section, which I might do a whole video on that if that's funny enough. That sounds fucking terrifying. Lewis, what the fuck is wrong with you? Lewis participates in the Channel Awesome Big Brawl anniversary video where he's in like one fucking scene, and then Lewis starts dating Iron Liz. And that is everything we need for that. If you need more context to everything that happened there, I already covered Lewis's ED, which talks about quite a bit of the stuff that was going on at that time as well. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit more context behind some of the things that was going on in Lewis's life. Hopefully this video taught you a few more things about Linkara you might not have known about. I know that I never really fucked with Angel Armor, and I didn't really know anything about it. So hearing even the slightest fucking hint of Angel Armor shit is definitely news to me. So I was very interested in that. Hopefully eventually someone will do like a whole fucking retrospective, like writing down what happens in these books. Because I'd love to fucking talk about the summary of what happens in these fucking books. But that'll be all for now.
Hey Chris, have a look at this. You're gonna hate me. Welcome to Philadelphia, where it's okay to be queer.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing another episode of Social Media Lunacy. Today we are covering ADF Fuensalida, and it took me a while to be able to pronounce that name. I probably won't be able to pronounce much of the weeb shit involved in this article. I am going to try. Please be patient with me. I am not Japanese and I am not a weeaboo. So let's read about this person. Today we're just going into the peak of the iceberg involving this person. So just know there's a ton of stuff about this person. They rival Chris Chan with how cringy they can be. It is going to take a while before I can cover everything about this person. I couldn't find any videos online documenting them. So I'm probably new to this, but they are well known, and Chris Chan has even interacted with them before. So this is technically a Chris Chan video. I'm just going to call them ADF because they've gone by multiple usernames called ADF, and I don't want to fuck up that second part of their name. So for now on, it's just ADF. And yes, you'll know their other name is on the screen too. Not going to pronounce that. This person has transitioned, and they are known by a new identity, and chances are you know them by their new identity. So we're not covering that identity today. We're just talking about ADF. So let's read about this. Be nice. This person is an autistic. This person is more sensitive / offendable. This person has Asperger's syndrome. So you can't say anything bad, frowny face. Be aware of that, you insensitive fuck. ADF, or Power World Philip V. Haskins DeLisi, is a 29-year-old, unfabulous, gender-bending aspie Naruto tard. And yes, this person is obsessed with Naruto. So for those of you guys who are playing the new Fortnite season, this is very relevant for you. Who changes his political views more than he changes his own shit-stained underwear. He is also known as a tardlet, who has a persecution complex to rival that of Turu-chan, and I don't know who that is. I might look into that later. Like any good weeaboo with strong opinions, ADF likes to draw existing anime characters out of character as soapboxes for his political LGBT stances, and he was doing it before it was cool, years before other people on the internet started taking these characters and using them to preach SJW shit. If anyone comments on his attention whoring ways, he dismisses it loudly in his journal as trolling / homophobic / Christian Republican hate mail, flames, death threats, and insists that anyone that is connected to 4chan and ED is after him. Keep dreaming, dumbass. And yes, you can see that he shares some of Chris Chan's delusions, that it's all the trolls. Everyone that shits on him, anyone that criticizes him, it's all the trolls. The trolls are after him. He's a wanted man, and the fucking internet is out to get him. He doesn't seem to grasp that his haters aren't anti-democratic, homophobic, anti-Hispanic. They are just anti-him, which is very true. This article is paid for by taxpayers like you. Thanks, America. So he is on Social Security. So just like Chris, he has a tugboat. And you can see a photo of this brilliant man right here. Beginning of a lolcow. And we have a quote by him. 4chan trolls are nothing but cyber fascists. Ooh, that's a new one. Cyber fascist. Have the Ku Klux Klan print goddamn t-shirts for you. You people who sit on your fat asses, who prey on people who are not white, Christian, heterosexual, and has a different opinion from your twisted, fucked up right-wing ideology. You are nothing but neo-Nazi thugs. Very good quote. We know that we're dealing with someone who is a genius when they talk like that. The homophobes responsible will be punished. Punished! Great. Neoconservatives tend to always scapegoat and blame someone else because they cannot take responsibility for their own actions and decisions. We have some artwork here. I'll look at this artwork in a second. I already have them zoomed up elsewhere, but let's read this part of the article first. ADF was first discovered in 2007 by 4chan, when his drawing of Naruto character named Sasuke shooting John McCain caught their attention. And yes, he really did draw this. We can take a quick look at this. This is Sasuke's October surprise. And Sasuke is telling John McCain, "Oh, sorry. I thought you were..." I can't read that. Danzu? I don't fucking know what that fucking says. I can't read it. It's too blurry. "You all look the same to me." So Sasuke is being an edgy boy, and apparently he likes wearing plaid scarves. I didn't know that was a Sasuke thing, but yes, that's the best thing to do when you disagree with someone politically. Draw a picture of an anime character shooting them. Very mature. When they came upon his DA page, which is DeviantArt, they were instantly blinded by over 1,400 pieces of shitty art made from the micro-tip pens, pencils, colored pencils, and Crayola rose art markers. He shares a lot in common with Chris Chan. Despite having nothing that even remotely resembles talent, ADF somehow managed to acquire 200 16-year-old watchers, which is impressive for back then. His choice themes at the time were Naruto, Yaoi, Yuri, and various other shit no one cares about. The trolls quickly started commenting on his page, which you know how this goes. You've seen enough Chris Chan to fucking figure out where this goes. ADF, like most other fucktards, was notorious for hiding comments quicker than a ninja. Very clever there. I like the wordplay. Literally, he just sat on his butt all day at his computer, pounding the F5 key until his fingers got tired, waiting for trolls to come. Of course, ADF was not going to keep quiet while the trolls continued to taunt him. Well, if you're gonna hide people from your comments section, there's no reason to address them. Like, they're already hidden. Like, what are you accomplishing by hiding them and then shit-talking them? Like, I don't know. That just confuses me. Like, if you're gonna shit-talk someone, shit-talk them. If you're gonna ignore them, ignore them. Don't ignore them and shit-talk them. It's not a good combo. Of course, ADF was not gonna keep quiet and let his trolls continue to taunt him. Our favorite glitter-happy person decided to do what any proper indignant target of ridicule eventually does. He threw a highly misinformed tantrum in the form of shitty pictures, more fascinating than his unintentional self. Also made a video addressing ED and the trolls, which was quickly deleted. Sadly, it doesn't look like it was archived either, but let's take a look at this artwork he made. They attack and prey on anyone who is not white, male, Christian, heterosexual. These fascists will terrorize and try to silence you. And we can see that this is a shithead, a literal shithead, with the 4chan t-shirt, a Bible in his pants, a gun next to said Bible, ready to shoot his dick, a noose with something probably terrible written on it, an American flag on one side, and a Nazi symbol on the other side. Those are hand in hand, the same thing. And we see that this says 4chan trolls. They have shit for brains. B/Rains. Funny, I get it. ADF will not be silent. This literally looks like something Chris would make. Even the way it's colored looks like how Chris would color something. ADF versus ED. Well, the ED article was poorly composed, considering they spent how many minutes they took writing bullshit there. No, I'm not crying about the ED article. He says that he's crying about the article. It's just lovely 4chan trolls posted, sure, know how to make an ass out of themselves. I joined ED. I'll better it too, with the truth. So he's literally pulling Chris Chan's tactics. He joined ED to edit his article with the truth. This is literally Chris Chan shit. All he has to do is draw a picture of him fucking one of his friends, and he's Chris. Of course, the old ED staff and users had to deal with ADF's tantrums toward the site. ADF vandalized this article quite a bit, yes, just like Chris, and threatened to turn early ED writers into the police. The internet police, of course. However, due to his own laziness, or the fact that the cops don't give a shit about ED articles, which we know that can't be true, no one has ever been arrested. ADF's unstoppable phantom gang. When talking to certain people, ADF has been known to impersonate several different characters as an attempt to make himself seem more tough, so he takes on his anime personas, like Chris Chan pretending to be Sonichu. I'm sorry, the Chris Chan stuff is just there for the fucking taking, and the way that he draws humans is just like how Chris Chan draws the fucking CPU goddesses. These personas include Sakura, Sasuke, and his own OOC lesbian version of Kureen. I probably said that wrong, but I don't fucking care. These comments, however, only managed to make him seem even more of a pussy than he already is. Sasuke turns on the shuriken. Die, bitch. Typical response from his sock puppet party. Very manly to do that. And we see one of his characters right here. This is one of his brilliant characters. He looks like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh! And his hands are tiny as fuck. And they look like they're just little fucking stumps growing out of his arms. They don't even look like hands. His first OC gay series, Ko-chan High School, that ended due to his fights between him and Kureen. Kureen clarified that Ko-chan High School is a fan-made doujin series by ADF, and that she had no real role as to the contribution to the series, other than the permission to draw her various OC characters. This series was ADF's own Sonichu in a way, which I don't know if it's archived, and I don't think I want to read it, but that's another thing you can mark up to being similar to Chris Chan. That was an amalgam of stolen ideas. Wow, what a shock. I've never heard that before. The gravitation and other generic anime cliches, along with stolen artwork from Kureen. Wow, steals artwork. Never heard that before. And other artists, combined with his fetishes for oversized paddles. Yes, that is a very niche one. I actually haven't heard that one before. That is new. And handcuffs. The series was short-lived. Very sad. And this is some of the characters from the series. You can see right there, and they have the paddle. A brilliant artist. And we have a quote here. It probably goes something like this. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't think this way, so my apologies in advance. That's always a good thing to start with. I would wake up and pack my essentials, cuffs, paddle, etc. Yeah, you're definitely not like that. As well as school books and stuff. Then I head to school by the subway train, paddle in hand. On campus, I begin to slaughter what? Slaughter of butt whacking. I begin my slaughter of butt whacking with my paddle. Before the first start of the bell, I do my work, of course, studying, answering questions. Then lunch comes. Oh yes, I would go sit next to my victim, a very good word to use, and steal their lunch, only to entice them to get mad. So I have a reason of cuffing them to the table, gagging them. This would totally be allowed in school, by the way. School students would watch as always as I whack them on the butt harshly, enjoying to hear their muffled screams of pain. A fucking psychopath. Some people would cheer on after an hour of torturing them at lunch, which you're lucky if you got lunch for an hour. The rest of the classes would begin. After class, I meet up with a few friends and chat like a normal person. You are not a normal person. And head home. I guess that is how it would go. He didn't mention uncuffing them. Again, I don't know if that would be it. So forgive me. Brilliant. We've got more quotes here, so let's keep on going. Oh shit, laughs. I find it amusing since she doesn't really act like that. And yaoi paddle on her is just something different. And the omakeko, I probably said that wrong, that you have grown to love. And now we have this wonderful thing I have to fucking read. And we're about to end things off, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little read. Some people even believed that one of ADF's goals was to create a new world order where people are ruled at the end of yaoi paddle, to set up in a system where people are classified by either Same or UK, which I probably said that wrong. It was ADF imagining if his watchers on DA Family would be willing to go into his basement and play Naruto by ranking them either Same or UK. I probably don't know what any of that shit is, and I don't know how to say it. But let's read some more quotes before we end this off. Can you imagine a yaoi government running things? X3. That would be a nightmare. Cops would carry paddles instead of guns. X3. Now we got a longer quote. How did this magical argument come to be? Believe me, it didn't just spring up overnight. One day, all of a fucking sudden, I had a label on me, presented to me by a former friend, ADF. All of a sudden, I was the weak-ass little UK on his special people list, and that all of a sudden gave me a special pass to write me disturbing messages about how he was going to beat me with a paddle, and drew one too, mini pic of my liking, of me tied up in bondage. I was rather surprised and altogether pissed off that all of a sudden I had become a butt of ADF's hot, sexy Yuri jokes. So he does draw weird art like Chris Chan does of his friends. So he's literally Chris Chan. Oh my god, he's literally a... No, I'm just gonna say he is Chris Chan. I was gonna say slightly more degenerate Chris Chan, but he just is Chris Chan. And that was a brief dive into ADF. I have a lot more I want to talk about with him. I am pacing this as slow as I can because I want to make as many videos as I can, and I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So if you want to see more about ADF, tell me in the comments section down below, and I will continue to cover this person. If you are not interested in ADF, tell me down below also, and I will find a different lolcow to cover. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be talking about ADF yet again. We are going to be talking about his love life and his views on politics very slightly. So I hope you guys are ready to see more insanity from this guy. We start with a quote, actually a series of quotes, talking about or involving ADF. This quote is from Corin. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I typed it up on a how to say website, so hopefully it's right. Corin, like the fucking cat from fucking Dragon Ball. But she says, but you might ask yourself, it says he lives in Canada. So why should you worry about the US? Answer, he lives 15 minutes away from me in New Jersey. He's a US citizen, born and raised here. He is 100% American, so apparently he lied about his nationality. So don't let his lies fool you. He goes to the same college I go to. That's very funny that he would LARP as a Canadian. Of all people to pretend to be, why a Canadian? Why would you pretend to be a Canadian? Do you hate America that much? Getting so involved in American politics made me think that he would be Canadian. But I guess he lied about his nationality for no benefit. And he very much is not on Canadian soil. Also, he has no accent, guys. So he fakes having an accent too. If you've seen his videos on YouTube about him dressed up in his attire and having an accent that is supposed to be Mexican or Scottish while he is Canadian, that is a lie. So he LARPs as a Mexican, Scottish, Canadian. A lot of interesting things. It really is starting to sound more like Christian. Like, I don't like comparing people to Christian, but this is literally Christian tier shit. Harassing a woman that was your friend that now you want to fuck, pretending to be different nationalities and races you aren't. This is sounding like classic Chris shit. Yet I have a few people here and in my real life who are afraid of all the recent changes. Some people I was friends with have this irrational fear of my yaoi-driven revolution in self-esteem and confidence. It's almost as if they don't want me strong, preferring my weakness and regulation over liberty and progressive freedom. And then this one's from ADF. Lastly, this is very common sense, but please do not ask where I go to school at or where I live. I do not want information out there in the hands to John McCain supporters. So I guess his Mary Lee Walsh is John McCain, the evil John McCain who is after him and wants to ruin his life, who really want to do serious harm to me and even try to kill me. Well, I mean, after that artwork you made of John McCain, who can blame them? You made artwork of fucking Naruto characters killing John McCain. Not talking with your friends is the same as what America is doing right now with regards to how it's throwing its weight as a superpower. What the fuck? Not willing to talk with our allies and enemies, and always using force to ensure isolation of the US. This is why I'm so strongly involved with the presidential election. That's ADS views on politics. For a guy that claimed to be an gay, effeminate male, ADF obsessed over his friend Corin, who had shunned him upon realizing that he's just a pathetic attention-seeking loser. And yes, we see this photo of him hanging out with the girl, and it mirrors Christian's Megan pic. Exactly. But it was not done as an homage to the Megan pic. It was done completely separately. Which is why some people thought that this was Jack Thaddeus, which it's not. Because they thought that this was set up to mock Chris. But it's not. It's done coincidentally. And this guy just mirrors Christian. It's so fucking weird. For being the go-getter he is, ADF made a few public arguments against her decision in his DA journal. His creepy obsession with Corin extends to his art, as well as where he draws Corin's anime self involved in a lesbian relationship with various female characters, most notably Sakura from Naruto. And I don't care if I said that right, I've never watched Naruto really, and I don't fucking care to start. Not only is he completely wrapped up in this character and several Corin's other ones, but he also, under impression that other people on DA actually care, that she pulled her own creations off the internet. So this is yet again another parallel to Christian. It's an artist who's into the same thing that he's into, that he steals their characters and puts them in his fan fiction, and then claims ownership over them. Being self-absorbed cunt, ADF immediately responded to the news with a petition. Additionally, it seemed our deluded man-child was trying to become Corin as her name, and other variations of it are on his list of wished to be addressed by. So he literally tried to steal Corin's identity as well. That's a little step up from Chris Chan, honestly. Corin responded by revoking permission to Felicia to draw her original characters. This permission for Felicia was granted. Okay, so I guess they're calling him Felicia. I don't know why. I don't know why they're saying that. It was granted from September 2005 until September 11th. Really? September 11th, 2008? It had to be 9/11? Come on. During that said frame, Corin allowed ADF to produce a total of nearly over 9,000 fan arts. Wow, that Vegeta reference, it's dated. And we can see some artwork that he made of Corin, and he signed it like the fucking egotist that he is, and she signed it too. Very fucking funny. And we see the paddle yet again. More fucking paddles. And that's a very generous drawing, by the way. This one sounds like it's coming directly from fucking Megan. This sounds like it's actually coming from Megan. Stop drawing my characters. Megan literally said the same thing to Chris. She said, stop drawing my characters. I don't like when you give my characters tits. Like, that's an actual quote. Have your character fall in love with someone else. If I see another picture of my characters anywhere in your pictures, I will do something about it. We are through. So it seems like they were kind of a thing at one point, like an actual thing, unlike Megan and Chris. So he's a slightly more successful Chris Chan. In defiance of Corin's orders, Felicia then got his character Akihito pregnant with Corin's male character Canis. Oh god, this is starting to sound like some Sonic Amino shit. All in a clever attempt to hit Corin up with child support. If that's true, I'm going to be very, very, very upset. By the way, Corin is now a grandmother. How so, you ask? Her character, Canis, and my character, Akihito, has a child now between the two. His name is, I want to say it's Ariel, but that's a girl's name. Okay, Ariel Sagara. He looks a lot like Akihito, the mother, but has Canis's eyes and hair color, the daddy. Yes, you actually heard that. In a scant 2 months after Ariel Sagara's birth, Corin retaliated with a troll attack against ADF, so now Corin is teaming up with the trolls. Shortly after Christmas, on December 28th, 2008. That's a good late Christmas present. She organized members of Let's Play Forum to spam this message. You will get what is coming to you. Karma will kick you and bite you in the ass hard. That's a very fucking prophetic message you're sending there. You don't know what will hit you. Also, I'm tired of hearing about your fucking syndrome shit and your fucking gay pride. Oh wow. That's gonna get me in some trouble. We know you are here and queer and you have Asperger's. What the fuck? You should have teamed up with John McCain. Maybe then you would have been a bit more successful. ADF, still thinking Corin is on his case, posted a journal entry pretending to be not butthurt that he discovered some personal addresses on a couple of sites including ED. He goes on thinking Corin or someone on Corin's behalf posted this to get him for all the stuff that happened, and has previously threatened legal issues, even though he has no idea who had done this, or could have possibly done it himself in the attempt to cause more trouble. If she did leak his address, that's pretty fucked. You shouldn't fucking do that. But if he did it, he's a fucking idiot. He also decided to sneak his way out of it by stating that he is domiciled in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Keywording domiciled. In an attempt to install, finding him is very hard. Don't fucking try that. They're just gonna find you now. When clearly one look at his picture and it's hard not to miss wandering the streets. He also adds that they are his previous home and work address and has since moved, a classic argument. He had made no attempt whatsoever to remove the address either. Now we're getting into politics, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Politics. As stated earlier, he is a left-wing liberal who supports gay marriage, Barack Obama, and everything associated with liberals. except the part where he says every gay should riot and own a gun and shoot every single straight person. So straight person genocide, that's a new one. In sight. What? For not allowing gay marriage. So if you're not in support of gay people, you need to die. The tub of lard support was so strong that his favorite insult toward the trolls was McCain supporters. Okay, so now we know the we know the enemy force in ADF's life, the McCain allies. So if you are against ADF, you are a McCain ally. Just know that. However, several months after Obama became president, ADF decided to rage over the fact that Obama did nothing to help the gays get married, which by the end of his term he did. So ADF was wrong. What a shock. He seems to not realize that a president is not a fucking genie. The fact that ADF is focused entirely on LGBT rights, which is now daunting because now I live in that reality. The future he fought for, I live in. I live in that future. LGBT stuff is everywhere. Like, you won, ADF. Speaks so much for how incredibly moronic a person ADF is. ADF has gone as far as comparing the passing of Proclamation 8 in California to the... Nope, I'm not reading that. Somehow not allowing gay people to marry is equivalent to treating a population as second-rate citizens. ADF has even claimed areas in San Francisco and Los Angeles to be gay homelands, which I was in California. I can agree with you there. I can 100% agree with you. When everyone knows that Key West, Florida, is the gay homeland, I will have to ask someone about that later to see if that is true. And now we move on to his fictional country, because yes, just like with Chris Chan and Quickville, he has his own fucking fictional country. Put that on your fucking checklist. Australatina. And yes, it's actually called that. Feeling unsatisfied that there isn't an existing country that could easily suit his bullshit politics, ADF made up his own. The only things known about this country is that it's an amalgam of ADF's different beliefs, and it has a lot of signs. And we mean a lot of signs, and you'll know what they mean by that. Go check out the ED article if you really want to see where that link sends you. So yeah, that was the wacky relationships and politics of ADF. I threw in politics because it wrapped up so much in his relationship that it was needed to be talked about. If I didn't give you the context to his political beliefs, then you wouldn't understand why he annoyed one of the only women out of his life. She didn't like that he was a liberal. She didn't like that he whined and complained all the time. So that's why she ended up leaving him. And him being a creepy stalker, just like with Christian, couldn't handle that. And they never improve. They never improve themselves. Instead of getting a new GF, he became a GF. But that'll be later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, though. We learned a lot today, and we had a lot of fun today.
I'm with a friend. We're doing a photo run this evening, you know, catching sunsets and shit. We're not on a PS3 drawing furry comics like Christian Wisham Chandler does. So, we're having a good time in this beautiful city of Philadelphia. Fuck Charlottesville, fuck Ruckersville, fuck Quickville, fuck TVCC. Yeah, them too. Yeah, TVCC. Mary Lee Walsh.
Yeah, Mary Lee Walsh and Michael Snyder.
Actually, Snyder's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least keeps Chris hammered from the fucking store.
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be wrapping up our first set of videos on ADF. Today we're going to be covering his drama and his autism. And if you are offended by me saying his autism, he's literally on the spectrum. So let's start with his drama. DA drama, which I assume means DeviantArt drama. All of this frustration with the world and is leading to one thing. Sasuke angst. I write this to you in frustration at almost the end of the semester. I have made a lot of progress in the last few months trying to define myself and what I am. I am more open to everyone. Nothing says you change like literally telling people you changed instead of them seeing how you've changed. I am out to everyone about my sexuality. Yet a few people are worried and are even afraid of all these changes that are happening. See, when things like that happen and people literally tell you they're afraid, maybe you need to think about that. Maybe something's wrong. Maybe this isn't the best choice to be making. Do these people know that I am my own person? Oh well, maybe I should start writing poetry and cutting myself. Wonderfully said, ADF. ADF, having no other hobbies or job, takes anything done on DeviantArt very seriously. Even the slightest change on DeviantArt sends ADF into a tard fit. So, it's not surprising that ADF has butted heads with DA admins over numerous complaints. He has also been banned from DeviantArt quite a few times over his shenanigans. The most interesting was when he was banned from DeviantArt for being a sick fuck, which is shocking because there's a lot of sick fucks on DeviantArt. He decided that it would be a bright idea to write several fanfictions with questionable content. One fanfiction included his favorite Naruto character, Sasuke, having sex with his own brother and a 50-year-old. Why? For some reason, Israel soldiers were also present in the fanfiction. Why is it always going back to Israel with this guy? When the DeviantArt admins caught wind of ADF's Shotokan fantasies, they were shocked and appalled. They banned him for a month for being a pedophile. You can still read that particular fanfiction here, which I doubt that that link actually works now, but if it does, I might humor looking at it. Once ADF had even thrown a baw fit because DeviantArt had tartlets specify their gender. He has stirred up a massive amount of drama over this and has made several pieces of art protesting the evil neo-Nazi DeviantArt admins. Why is everyone a Nazi to this guy? Whenever this guy encounters anyone, he makes them a racist or a Nazi or whatever. It is just sad. Who obviously hate transgendered people. I hate it when people use their gender identity as a shield. He has even gone so far to threaten legal action against DeviantArt over it. I doubt there is anything he could actually do. He had even told his watchers to call their local attorney and general and bitch about how DeviantArt was being cruel to all the men who wished they were little girls. This obviously led nowhere, and ADF cheerfully went on to the next thing that made him irritable. Be sure to inform ADF that he is still a man and therefore shouldn't give a shit. I don't advise you to do that. That's just the humor of Encyclopedia Dramatica. They always threw out transphobic jokes like that. I don't agree with that humor. ADF Cash. Hey DeviantArt admins, my name is ADF, and I hate every single one of you. All of you are fat, retarded, no-life breeders who spend every second of their day creating updates that let you look at our gender. You are everything bad in the world, honestly. Have you ever called yourself a girl 7 years before getting your sex change? I mean, I guess it's fun asking us what our real gender is because of your own insecurities, but you all take it to a whole new level. This is even worse than people finding out that I don't actually live in Canada. Don't be a stranger. Just hit me with your best shot. I'm pretty much perfect. I've cosplayed as every single character from Naruto and got an article on Encyclopedia Dramatica, one that I'm reading right now. What articles have you gotten other than I'm so awesome page on your own blogs that no one reads? I also get Fs and have fat fox lesbian. Okay, so I'm assuming this is written to make fun of ADF. That can't be ADF's actual thing. So this whole thing was made to mock ADF. Hilarious. I'm sure this is something that ADF would actually tell DeviantArt when he's angry at them. You are all homophobes who should just kill yourself. Wow, that one's being thrown around a lot. Thanks for listening. Pick Related is me and my jam. You just jelly that you can't have any. Hilarious. You gotta love the humor of Encyclopedia Dramatica. They really understood ADF and really wrote a believable story about him there. ADF Autism and Autist. Like all the top deviants, ADF has Asperger's. His stamps suggest that he is not only a gay martyr, but persecuted Aspie as well. Even stranger is that even though he preaches equality, he identifies himself as a supporter of Christian trolling. This is somewhat ironic, as ADF is pretty much exactly what Christian would be if he wasn't closeted, which is actually pretty accurate because Christian would go on later to be trans, so very funny that it actually ended up happening. They called it. These two autistic man children characterize trolls in completely opposite ways. For him, 4chan is right-wing conspiracy. For Chris, it's a bunch of devil-worshipping homos trying to drive him off of the straight path. That is funny. He is kind of like the anti-Christian. He's kind of like the bizarro Christian. He has stated that the official reason why he hates Chris is that he is homophobic, racist, arrogant, perverted, autistic man-child that everyone loves to hate and hates to love. This is rather amusing, as ADF too is racist, arrogant, perverted. 50% of his stamps concern his fetishes, attempting to appear dark and edgy, autistic man-child. His only contribution to Christian trolling was a poorly drawn image and some videos he made later on. He did because he felt like Christian insulted Transformers with his shameless ripoffs, proving that he too is a man-child obsessed with toys. As if this wasn't enough already, he has stated that he is a male lesbian, a gaybian. And let's see if this image of it doesn't exist anymore. Wonderful. Didn't archive it. Good job, ED. I'll shit on you when I have to as well. Open letter to fans of ADF. Yeah, I'm a horrible monster. I took someone with an obvious mental disability, and Asperger's is a disability to deal with the fact, who claimed they were having death threats made at them, and I defended him. I came to campus on my day. Wait, what is this? This isn't by ADF. This is just some random fucking thing. Why? I don't want to read this if it's not ADF writing it. I don't fucking care what this person has to say. As far as I know, they could just be making it up, but as we can see right there, right here in this picture, that's his paddle, that's his weird sex shit, that's his Shotokan collection, and we can see him cross-dressing right there. If we look at his gallery, we can see a lot of weird shit. We can see Barack Obama artwork right here. We can see dancing Naruto characters, more cross-dressing, and just more of the same shit. And that was everything for now with ADF. ADF is a rather controversial person. He's very similar to Christian with a lot of his shenanigans. He had his own Megan. He had his own weird fanfiction comic where he wrote stories about his friends. He tried to take ownership over people's characters. He's weirdly political. He ended up becoming trans. ADF is Christian, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. Not that he doesn't have autism. He does have autism. But considering that he's opposite politically, he has the opposite enemies of Christian. So yeah, if you guys want me to cover ADF after transitioning, stay tuned. I might get around to that. I'm just glad to finally wrap up everything with the very first identity that they had, that being ADF. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like this video, then share it. And if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.